Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is currently Saturday, and I am doing a little bit more Spirit of Justice. So, the last time that we did the stream, we were attempting to try and find any proof at all that could potentially get Maya out of hot water. No, we seem to be very thoroughly dug into the shit. And unless the seance gives us something, we're a little screwed, because we're already guilty. And this judge is not going to be nice to us. But oh well, I guess we'll see what happens. So, hello everybody over in the chat. Good lord. The poison's already started. I guess I didn't help with the whole, like, spamming, random lines.
Boba, why?
Why, Boba? Why? Funny Stuff says, we're even more in hot water. We're tea bags. Yay. Except we're not going to make delicious British tea. Did I see the video on the meme channel? Good question. I don't know. Give me a moment. Oh, wow, yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff. I'll take a look at the meme channel a little bit later. But for now, we're going to dive into some more Phoenix Wright. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. I have not had any time to sit. Okay, there we go. It worked perfectly. Thank God. So anyways, I think we got everything set up and ready to go. Let's just dive in. Oh, also, let's move this window up in front of this one. There we go. Okay, May 12th, 9:34 a.m. High Court of Kirain, accused lobby. Hey, lady. Maya looks exhausted, but I can't blame her. Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never properly asked you to defend me, did I? Yeah, but that's kind of like a formality at this point, right? You reevaluate everything you work for because Snatcher a day. Yes, I did play random Snatcher clips. Do not reevaluate everything. Everything is fine. Nothing is broken. Also, your friend made that for you. One of your demon... Let me see this. Whoa! There's some whiskers. Friggin' SpongeBob. Just imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot! Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end. I know, that's why. I wanted to officially ask you for your help. You got it, Maya. Let's do this. Hey, Boba. We gotta wrap this up and get back home so you can make your dream show come true, and also eat delicious burger. The Steel Samurai versus the Plume Punisher, right? You bet! Oh! Hello, Miss Bitchface. You look as if you did not sleep well last night, Barbed Head. It is written all over your face. Yes, I'm gonna die. Clearly, I wouldn't sleep if that were the case. What did I think of the Bee Snatcher? It was a little too perfect. Just a tad bit too perfect. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that? I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. And yet apparently she got her beauty sleep. Oh, great. Maybe she's covering it up with that, all of that nice paint on her face. Ooh, Bubba is watching my stream from the airport. Don't eat up your minutes, or be very careful with the airport Wi-Fi. Yeah, I saw. You said something about flying to Scotland. My buddy Ben was telling me, like, you said something about flying to Scotland before he logged off of the Minecraft server. Holy crap, what the heck are you doing in Scotland? Or if that's personal, don't need to tell me. Rafa doesn't seem in the best spirits herself. Go ahead. Feign confidence now while you are still able. For I will see to it that your last rites are read to you this day. Ooh, personal retreat. That sounds fun. I'd like to take a trip to Scotland. That sounds interesting. Huh. Guess it was just my imagination. Oh, hello, Mario. I hope you're doing well. Also, you still love Maya. Oh, of course you do. Everybody loves Maya. Everybody loves the Maya. She is a terrific assistant. No, actually, one thing that my buddy Ben mentioned, just like, oh, you're heading over to Scotland? Don't take Bit, because he's going to do the horrible Scottish owl accent, and he's going to piss off everybody in Scotland. Anyway. Ready, Nick? Okay, Maya, let's head on in. Let's dive in head first and hope the seance doesn't completely screw us over. The conductor goes to Scotland. May 12th, High Court of Kirain. Day 2. The sequel to Joel Goes to America, Pitby Goes to Scotland. Oh my gosh, has Ben in the stream or something, and thanks lol. I mean, he's been in a couple of the streams, he's not in this one at the current moment. I will say though, oh, I should mention before we get too far into this, I'm considering that maybe we'll skip on doing Phoenix Wright next week, because I'm thinking about doing a Minecraft stream with everybody in the server, taking a look at the things that people have made. I'm back. Oh, what the hell are you talking about, you potato? No, potato is Irish, so actually, that's almost, you know, offensive as it is. Or maybe I'm being offensive by saying the potatoes are all Irish. I don't freaking know. Everybody's getting flamed. Flame war. Anyway, that's just an FYI. I might not be doing Phoenix Wright next Saturday. Anyways.
Now then, if everyone is ready.
The defense is ready, Your Majesty.
The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay.
Oh, no prayers this time, Prosecutor Sunrise.
No, too serious.
I already offered my prayers for the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene. Being that the accused has already been found guilty on the first murder, let us hasten this trial so we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his misery.
I could not agree more. Bloodshed! In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the High Priest. And today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple, Pere Zelot.
Nayuta is still very pretty. He's a very, very pretty boy.
Now then, Prosecutor Sadmadhi, your opening statement, if you would.
Certainly. The accused has now slain 2 of the most devout clergymen in Kyrianism. Even the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling, would not be punishment enough.
Gulp? Then what terrible fate awaits her?
But, oh god, what the hell? Balgipol Khan Hell.
A realm of eternal agony. There she will suffer the endless punishment of, Yagar by the Galoon of please help. Furthermore,
enough! My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists.
I was going to ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss.
Now then, please continue, minus the part about the terrible hell awaiting the accused.
As you wish. The victim of this heinous crime was the High Priest's disciple, Pere Zelot. He had been training under the High Priest while living at the priest's home.
I had met him a number of times, and he seemed like an earnest young man. How tragic that he met such a terrible end.
Damn.
The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the purification rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of the faithful deep in prayer.
You will be subjected to watching Romain Letouce die for all eternity. God, no.
The Warbot dagger was found impaled in the victim's upper back. The stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly.
Ah, the Warbot dagger, Lady Kira's weapon of choice.
It's like a yo-yo.
We have already established that the accused's prints were on the weapon. Incredibly damning evidence in itself.
No! I didn't do it!
Hold your tongue. Now, being that the accused Maya Fey is a serial killer, the prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence.
Prosecutor Gavin's guitar catches on fire for all eternity. I don't know, I feel like that would be really metal and awesome to watch.
Would the defense care to respond?
The accused is innocent and nothing can convince me otherwise. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness?
Turns out everyone was actually asleep. Our bad.
That'll be Apollo's hell.
The accused's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further.
Oh, his heaven. Sorry. He would love that. Really? Would he love watching that guitar light on fire constantly? But...
Well, once her benevolence conducts her seance, it'll be clear for all to see.
Oh dear, I just took a look at the Discord. We're being attacked by ponies. Oh dear.
Your Majesty, might I have a word?
Is something the matter, Prosecutor Sodmati?
It is about the divination seance.
Oh, she will hear nothing of it.
Your benevolence!
Stop right there, Prosecutor Sadmati. As you wish. Forgive me for stepping my bounds.
What was that all about?
Barbed head, have you made peace with your fate? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees.
Smug Phoenix is best Phoenix. I'm ready, and I accept your challenge. The only problem is, I have no weapons at my disposal. Our only hope now is what we can glean from the seance's vision and Rafa's insights, which the freaking prosecution already has seen. Bullshit.
Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your benevolence.
Playable Phoenix right for Hat in Time when? I feel like that would be very gangly and weird to see being played. You think like a chibi version of Phoenix would make a lot of sense? I don't know.
Let us begin. Nana!
Nana is so freaking quick. Are we sure Nana isn't a robot? We already have Trucy. True.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped.
Weedy says, I missed the last couple of streams. Impression on this case so far. It's loony as all hell, and I can't believe Phoenix is hecking dead.
O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Sorry, Mario says, Nema is the same person who slides Godo his coffee. So true. And now we get to watch this little dance again. I'll throw this game a bone. We'll watch it again. Just because, you know. Like, what a cutscene. Like, you can clearly tell that they put a lot of work and effort into this cutscene. Just they keep using it over and over and over again. Mario says, just once I want to see her do the chicken dance. Ooh, hey, that Phoenix would work. Yes. I feel like that would be a really good shit post. Does anybody have the 3D model available? Like, I would love to freaking see that. Like, it starts out like the normal dance and just halfway through. Sorry, I need to entertain myself somehow. This dance clearly isn't. I mean, it's entertaining the first time, not so much the, like, third or fourth time. Funny Stuff says, is it wrong if I did the claps with you? No. That means that you, oh, good. Sorry, dropped my stylus. Don't give the MMD Phoenix Wright fans ideas. No, I'm going to give them all the ideas. Okay, so let's see how this turned out. What? Wait. Don't tell me there's none! I don't get it. Why wasn't there anything to see?
Your benevolence! What in the world?
Ugh. I was unable to evoke any sort of response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail.
Well, that's why they didn't want to do that. Oh. Freaking updated autopsy report.
Just as I thought.
Wait, what does he know that we don't?
I had sought to confirm the contents of today's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecutor to verify it beforehand.
Bullshit! Come to think of it. Oh, we don't need to be reminded of this. We remember this.
I must go perform a divination seance for Pare Zalat. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before a trial begins. And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice.
So she intentionally wasted all of our time. Cool.
It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties.
I am not anything of the sort. The victim's spirit will not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth through the divination seance.
All right. Okay, we got to start thinking about this. The question is not like, you know, why didn't they? Like, we got to think about, like, what scenario would have happened to where we wouldn't get their response? And my first initial thought was, like, are they not dead? Is this somehow a situation where, like, that was a completely different corpse, and we are calling on the wrong, the wrong horrible dead person? Rafa.
What are we to do without a divination seance?
I suppose I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I am fully capable of proving the accused's guilt with or without a divination seance.
You never fail to impress, Prosecutor Sadmadhi.
This is bad. The divination seance was my one and only hope. Your Majesty, her benevolence said she isn't tired. So shouldn't we try to find out why the divination seance failed?
How curious, Mr. Wright. Why have you suddenly taken such a keen interest in the divination seance?
'Cause it's neat and I like dancing.
Yes, explain yourself. The divination seance is for shedding light on an accused's crimes. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath that is ever poised to pound you into the grave. You should fear it, not plead for it.
I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday, somebody told me something that changed my mind. The divination seance was once thought of as just another piece of evidence. If we were to correctly interpret the visions through careful analysis, then they would lead us to the truth behind what really happened. And the truth will show that my client, my FA, is innocent. The truth is, you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick? Shut up! Mint says, Oh, shit. Sorry, got the name wrong. This is the corpse of somebody to love. Ah, are you fucking kidding me? Great. Maya, please, you're not helping.
How dare you! The voice of Amitama is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you! Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal priestess. It would be best not to burden her any further. Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter-arguments without the seance?
No, of course not. He saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the divination seance happen or we're toast.
Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let us proceed with the trial without the seance, as Prosecutor Sadmati suggested.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Why, I will not forgive this forget this barbed head.
This will not be the last you see of me!
Flutter, 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 flutter.
Now then, I will now proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand.
Time to bullshit my way to the top.
Very well, if the lead detective would please come to the stand, we may begin.
Emma, don't screw us over.
Sorry, Mr. Wright. Detective Sky, I understand how you would wish to save the accused and the defense. They are your friends, after all. But you must let them go and move on.
But... Team Rafa's blasting off again.
There is only one way to save them now, by giving their souls the chance to burn away the taint of their sins in the infernal flames.
Oh, I can't do this!
No eating in the Sacred Hall of Justice!
Sorry, Snaku! Miss Sky!
Yes?
Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out. Eventually.
Right. Thanks, Miss Faye. How very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul. Very well, Detective Sky. Please proceed.
They have made Emma sad. This whole court will burn.
Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of the case.
Smash. Okay.
The latest victim was Perez Zalat. He had been trading under the High Priest and living in his house for the past 2 years. The High Priest's widow, Balib Inbi, has identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest.
Oh, hello, Shadow. How you doing? Funny Stuff says, I want a game where you play as Emma, including the Snaku throwing action. Tossing it at people's foreheads.
I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond?
I didn't spot any inconsistencies in her testimony so far, and I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I gonna do now? What is it, Maya? I was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into acolytes a lot. Because it might prove to be key as to why the divination seance failed. Hello! What are you getting at?
Well, it's just a hunch. Wait a second. During my investigation, Rafa told me about how the divination seance works. If I could figure out why it failed, maybe she could try it again. Okay, time to press for some more information.
Yep, I knew it. This is not the dead person we're looking for. Mario says, well, we were going to get an Emma game, but it turned into the Edgeworth games. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because apparently everybody needs to hug Edgeworth more. The least victim was Perez Zalat. What kind of person was Acolyte Zalat? According to the neighbors and others who knew him, he was a deeply devoted youth.
I too have heard his name mentioned as one who was a fervent practitioner. I suppose you might say he was the High Priest's star disciple.
Furthermore, He had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. 2 years? Are you sure about that? We took statements from his neighbors and his fellow monks. They all corroborated our initial findings. What about you, Maya? Well, when I first came here, I saw Zalot praying under the High Priest's instruction. I see. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out. Oh, funny. Oh, Shadow says, I'm in a moving car with a laptop and a hotspot on your mom's phone, so you may have spotty connection. Good lord. I mean, actually, I mentioned this before, except I mentioned it with, I believe, Boba. You know, if it's a hotspot, don't use up too much of your data. Unless you have some kind of an unlimited data cap sort of thing, in which case, party on. I've tried to get internet via like any kind of like satellite stuff in cars before. It's I was gonna say embarrassing. No, it's annoying as all hell. Just trying to connect to just anything, being far away from towers, ending up in situations where like there's a lot of tree brush or just a whole lot of wide open nowhere with no towers available. Anyways, the High Priest's window... No, sorry, not window. I keep saying that word, and I almost say window every time, and I think this is the first time I've just messed it up. The High Priest's widow, believe in me, has identified the victim's body. Were there tears in her eyes? Because maybe she wasn't able to identify it properly. I mean... Was Miss Inme's positive ID the only way you verified the identity of the victim? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried and the data in his family registry. But what? His personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced. Maybe that's why the divination seance failed. I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright. Here's what I'm thinking. His address was wrong. Perez... Okay, here's the thing. His address was wrong. What we were talking about before is basically the idea that, the name of somebody. I feel like maybe Perez a lot might be a fake name. I'm gonna save real quick just to be sure. But we were talking about the whole like address might be incorrect in some capacity, but I think that's not actual. I feel like they're going to literally talk about his home address if in the case I use this. I think the idea is he might not have been using his proper name. Shadow says, I'm happy you didn't miss the good part. Oh, nice. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priestess used a deceased fake and true name to summon their spirit.
Why, yes, that is indeed true. If he was using a forged ID and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They are not uncommon here in Karain.
An illegal immigrant? Come to think of it, Rafa mentioned something about immigrants yesterday. But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is. We'll have to proceed without holding a divination seance this time.
Yeah. I had always thought that Acolyte Zalot was Kirainese. Oh, how the High Priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Should we add this to your testimony?
I guess we probably should. This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony.
It would seem to be a fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add what you just said to your testimony.
Yes, Her Majesty. Shadow says, I'm going to get violent car sick, but this is going to be very worth it. Oh, for God's sakes, if you're going to get car sick just by, like, watching stream type that, don't do that on my account. Holy crap. Anyway, he's an illegal immigrant, so we don't know his real name. Isn't there some way to track down his real name? Don't vomit. No, not if he wasn't an illegal immigrant. Have you actually confirmed that he was in Kurain illegally? Well, we don't have any conclusive evidence. But there's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Kurain either. Oh boy, now what do we do? What if there was a clue in the evidence you gathered? It's probably our only hope at this point. If he really was an illegal immigrant, our proverbial goose is probably cooked. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest. Shadow says it's a relatively short ride, and you think you can handle it. You were in the car all day. Oh god, I hate car rides like that. It's just like, you feel really uncomfortable, and you want to get up from your seat, but you really shouldn't, because that's really, really unsafe. And, like, I mean, also, you need to have a roomy car in order to make that happen. But in all likelihood, you probably don't have a roomy car, which is just making the whole uncomfortable, crammed into one spot that much worse. Oh, Maya, isn't that Lady Kira who's been going around capturing rebels? I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but...
That verdict was already handed down in the previous trial. It is no longer a point of dispute, and I will not allow you to make it so.
But...
No ifs, ands, and most of all, no buts. The accused was posing as Lady Kira, and she killed Acolyte Zalot because she mistakenly believed him to be a rebel.
That's not true! I'm sorry! The verdict has already been read in that case. I have to assume that it's a fact now. Now what do we do? Now I know why the divination seance failed, but... nothing's really changed. Yeah, which means we're in big trouble. If he really was an illegal immigrant, it's going to be real hard to find out his real name. I guess our only choice is to give up on the whole divination seance thing. If only there was some way to find out the victim's real name. Well, we're gonna have to figure that one out, so let's see. He was an illegal immigrant, so we don't know his real name. Well, let me just go ahead and save, just for security's sake. And let's think about this. What could point to potentially finding his real freaking name? The rebel hideout photo. No, that thing had everything to do with Luminol, pretty much. So, nothing about that. Dirk's law book. Nah. Tome of Secrets. A tome given to only... That's not going to help us. Believed statement. A statement about the feast. Let me take a look at this. The family photo was taken during the Feast of Blessing, where it's customary to partake in dishes made for that. Dishes are prepared during feast that time. Doop-de-doop-de-darp-de-doo. I don't think that has anything to do with a name. And also Mapley has posted a thing. Ah, yes, the bee. Everybody go look at the bee. There's the family picture. And there's him in the picture, but... I mean, I don't think there would be anything about a name in here. Or that. This doesn't have anything about a name on it, so no. How about Zealot's autopsy report? No, there's really nothing specifically talking about Zealot. I mean, the only thing that's really an interesting identifier is the tattoo on his back, like the back of his neck. That's about it. On the day of the rite, the water in the spring was already stained. It's worth a shot. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I don't really have any other ideas. Like, perhaps if we can somehow match up that with, that, you know, a mark of somebody else. And then there's Tarust in me. Yeah, that ain't gonna help me. Let's try it. Objection! Yeah, okay, apparently. Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation. Huh? What are you talking about? The victim was undeniably a Curianese native. And the crime scene photo proves it.
It does.
It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see clear proof that the victim was Kyrionese. Where? I don't see anything that would prove that. This proves the victim was I mean, really? Is it the tattoo? I don't know anything about this tattoo. Okay. Look at this tattoo right here.
Why, that's a tattoo of a peach.
I would like you all to think about the meaning of this tattoo. Oh, the victim really liked peaches.
Well, peaches are a favored delicacy here in Cryin.
They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness in their perfectly ripe flesh. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself.
Nick, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. After the trial, Maya, right now we have bigger fish to fry. Unfortunately, that is not a tattoo of a peach.
It is not a peach, you say? Then what is it?
Take a closer look. Haven't you seen something like that before? Namely, the tattoo on the High Priest's brow.
Oh my!
What? This mark is only borne by members of the Curionist clergy. How about that?
So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different shapes?
Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark all Curionist clergy bear. Ooh, Shadow has a peach-flavored drink right now. Ooh, so you are, you're double immersed. Hey, you're right!
Until about 20-some-odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one,
That is entirely too much information. Oh god, what the heck did he even say? I'm assuming it's in a very uncomfortable place. Can't it be forged? Maybe. Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark in the same spot. I'm on it! I'll let you know if I get any hits.
That will not be necessary.
Oh, shut the hell up.
If you seek information on the clergy, I have it all right here.
Oh, okay, thank God. Oh. check the log. Yeah, of course. Hold on a second.
Oh my, you never cease to amaze. So tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill?
My right buttock! Oh, god damn it.
There is just one, and his name is Real Nemu.
Fuck.
He became a monk 20 years ago.
Then that must be the victim's real name!
But why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another one?
Yeah, there must have been some reason. Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name. You're right. Your Majesty, now that we know the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work.
A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented.
Starbucks sigh.
You are but digging your own grave, Defense.
You haven't seen the seance. Shut the hell up. We won't know that until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope.
Very well. Let the divination seance be held once more.
Please tell me you're not going to do that dance again.
Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, Barbed Head, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise.
Bring it on, princess. Because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights. Bitby, but he's actually Phoenix Wright in casual clothes. Ew. I'm just thinking about the hoodie. Yeah.
You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence.
Oh, shoot. I unplugged the thing. Don't do anything stupid. Try again. Okay, we're good. Oh, Holy Mother, we hold the divination seance in your name.
Let the eyes
Oh god, we're gonna have to do this again, aren't we? So we did, but you know what? We've seen it. In fact, if we have to watch the dance again, yep, alright. I think this is the one I'm definitely gonna skip. What's gonna happen now? Oh, okay. Plume, Punisher theme. What? Heavy. Pain. That's pretty much exactly what I thought we were going to see. Just the floor and a whole bunch of, like, random other senses.
Oh my! It is just as Mr. Wright summarized. Perez-a-lot wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's
How do you know it's the victim's Judge, how are you 100% completely certain that it is his final scenes? Like, I don't know. Maybe it was a different monk that was killed at some other point in time. Yeah, the Plume Punisher theme. That's gonna be weird. But all we could see was the ground.
You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts?
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt.
You did.
A most surprising surprise attack. So, tell us, Prosecutor Sodmadhi, what is this conclusive evidence you have found?
The Plume Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation.
Hey, that's my Plume Punisher strap.
When you press the Megatama on the Plume Punisher's belt...
Oh, shoot. You know, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Ah! It's pretty nice that apparently the victim knew everything about the Plume Punisher. That way he could clearly directly identify that it was the Plume Punisher theme.
It seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item, is it not, Miss Faye?
You better not break it. There's only one of those in the whole wide world. Maya, no! Shut the hell up!
It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you.
She sure seems to be enjoying this. Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either.
It is time to accept the fact that the divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused.
That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, if there are no further objections,
I have several. Slow down there, your majesty. At least let me make a counter-argument.
What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance?
Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are just yet. But that's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly.
You do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the Mitama of the deceased. If you believe there to be an error in my insights, then let us see you prove it.
Oh, I absolutely will. I already have a good idea of what one of them is.
The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. The pattern on the plaza's ground was visible in the darkness. Then someone was there, and the theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused held the victim down and plunged her dagger into his upper back. The blade struck true, and in that instant, he departed from this world.
Foolish lawyer, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true.
I didn't notice any holes in there. As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased's sensations very carefully. Very well, so... we got the smell of Ging Hill. First of all, let's take a look at like the actual statements. Victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. Through the dark, the pattern on the plaza ground was visible. Then someone was there, and the theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused held the defenseless victim down and plunged her knife into her neck. Into their neck, rather. The blade struck true. The only thing that I seem to see potentially having some kind of a, wiggle room here is then someone was there and the theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. So I would have, It seems like the timing of that is proper. Oh, for God's sakes. Give me a moment. This cable, I swear to God. Hold it together. Right, very short seance. What the fuck? Come on, you son of a gun. Come on. Clean out your ears. Might have to clean up, pour it out a little bit. Seems to be reacting to some pressure points on the touchscreen itself, I think. Anyway, I have to guess that the Plume Punisher theme would be the bit that I'm trying to select here. Specifically, yeah, let's see.
Objection!
Oh dear, I don't think that worked. Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision?
Inconsistent? I think not.
Exactly. That's where the inconsistency lies.
No, I believe it is in the defense's thought process that the inconsistency lies.
Okay, so clearly we need to work on that a little bit more. Right, let me think about this again. Night of the Rite. Through its dark, the pattern on the plaza ground was... Alright, so yeah, clearly there is a pattern on the ground. And it definitely looks like the plaza ground, that's for sure. Unless there's something about it that I would be confused about. No, that seems accurate. Okay then. The victim was offering up his prayers. Yes, he was. Someone was there. The theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused held the defenseless victim down and plunged her knife into his neck. I mean, okay. The one thing that we're not accounting for is the smell? Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I could do about that. Again, there's heavy, pain, and then just everything phases out. Maybe we just need to question the smell. Is there anything to do with smell happening with any of these things here? The connection keeps cutting out. Same thing on my 3DS. So, hold the phone. Here's one thing that I'm a little bit confused about. The Night of the Right. We were talking about that Gig Hill stuff. Okay, the taken during the Feast of the Blessings, where it's customary to partake in dishes made with Gig Hill. These dishes are only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon on the day before the rite and must be finished by 3 p.m. I think that's what we're trying to pinpoint here. So, yes. The Night of the Rite. Are you sure? Objection! There we go. Was it really the Night of the Rite?
What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew Acolyte Zalot after killing the High Priest during the purification rite.
The only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate that.
What's this?
Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says Ging Hill? Acolyte Zalot shouldn't have smelled any Ging Hill on the Night of the Rite.
What do you mean?
Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled Ging Hill on the night of the murder. Alright, this statement. The High Priest's wife, Believe in Me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of Ging Hill-based dishes, and they're only supposed to be served at a certain time of the day before the rite.
Why, I believe you're right. I had completely forgotten about that.
During the feast, the unique smell of Ging Hill pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m., the day before the purification rite. Getcha.
I'm not so easily fooled. Did that autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite.
Oh, right. I taught her about that yesterday. Shit. Forgive me, your benevolence. But the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change. What's this? What mystic... Yeah, this whole scientific autopsy bullshit. Why can't we use magic? Like, if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent.
Why, I believe I've heard something of that sort before. It is as Mr. Wright claims. The estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised.
Right, it just happened some point. Bobbed head, you blinded me with science! Blinded me with science. Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for?
No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insights to account for this new truth.
It was the afternoon the day before the rite. Okay.
Time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible.
Nick! A change in the time of death is bound to cause some sort of an inconsistency. If I had something that showed what it was like on the day, it could really help. Ooh! Hello. So, that actually kind of explains why it's like so bright out here. Anyway, let me take a think about this one. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Okay, though a bit dark, the pattern on the plaza ground was visible. Okay. Right. The afternoon of the day before the rite. Let's think about this one. Your internet's cutting. Well, I mean, you're on the road. That makes entire sense. Anyway. So it's not possible to, like, present a piece of evidence, sadly. Okay. The afternoon of the day before the rite, though a bit dark, the pattern on the plaza ground was visible. There's the Plume Punisher theme. There's a heavy thing. Some pain. Falling over dead. I've got to think about, like, what does this change? Okay, so the things that changed ended up being this. I feel like there's got to be a lie within this. Or, you know, some kind of inconsistency. The afternoon of the day before the rite. Let's take a look at the court. Obviously, there's got to be something in the court record that proves something. Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. Lady Kira figure appeared 2 years ago. Remained mystery. Doopty hoppity derpity up. Purification rite. Thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the plaza of devotion until yesterday has melted. The rite can now go as planned. Oh, interesting. Really? Well then. Sight.
Objection!
Why is it so clear? The change in the date and time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. What's that? She's probably just so done with this shit. Just like, okay, how many more tricks are you gonna pull out of your freaking ass? You are making that irritating face again. Cease that at once. Sorry, this is my smugness. You cannot turn it off. Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. Do you have bats in the belfry, bobbed head? There's nothing to see. The ground at the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the rite, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground.
Impossible, you say? Do explain.
This piece of evidence shows why the plaza ground was not visible that day, and that would be the newspaper.
Take that!
This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick white ice the day before the rite. What? But...
The victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground.
Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. What? What?
What? What? Then where do you propose the victim was actually killed?
Oh, geez, these judges, they like so much of this drama. Yes, tell us where. Otherwise, your argument is worthless. Mint says, Ghost and 2 Spirit of Justice files, edit smug files to 1000. Also, did I notice that I wrote Spirit of Justice? Oh, did I? Shoot, give me a second. Where did I write that? Did I write that in the description of the... Give me a moment. I should probably fix that. Oh, yes, I did. Oopsie doodle. Sorry, I was working a little bit quick. I'll fix that for people that are jumping into the stream. It's not gonna fix unless like everybody else just refreshes their page, but I don't know. Is it that important? Probably not. But I will change that. Thank you very much. Anyway, yes, tell us where. Otherwise, argument is worthless. About that. Oh, I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya? Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right? Right, but where could that be?
What is it, Bobhead? Giving up already?
Not at all! Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed! Oh, I already know. This is amazing. The secret hideout the rebels were using. My badge. No.
The rebel hideout? There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber.
You're absolutely right. There's no place. On the floor, anyway.
Well, then what did the victim see in his final moments, if not the floor of the rebel hideout?
This is what the victim saw in his final moments. Doink. The shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions in the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab.
That does agree with the seance's vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same.
I concur. There's no proof that a murder occurred in the rebel hideout.
Oh, I would say otherwise. But, Mr. Wright, that doesn't make any sense. My badge!
Indeed. What evidence do you have of this?
I've already shown you the evidence.
What do you mean?
Please, take a look at the second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the result of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. Maybe you shouldn't say that you did it, because there's a lot of bias involved in that. But anyway, this is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of that stone slab.
Is that true?
This information has already been provided to the police.
Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong?
We thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from the outside, so we haven't tested it yet. Oh, come on, really?
Then you must do so at once.
Yes, Your Majesty.
It appears that the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please.
The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Perez a lot, just like the defense claims.
Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber. There I will deliver a joyous sermon unto you for 8 hours straight.
I'm really sorry, but please, anything but that. Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for. Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but go for it! It's full speed ahead! The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then, his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So, when we thought we saw Acolyte Zealot praying during the rite, he was already dead! Ugh! Mint says, forgot to mention, when I brought up the judge enjoying the drama, you had sat there imagining the judge as a K-pop fan eating cheese puffs. Or no, K-pop stan, rather. Did you mean that? K-pop stan? I've never heard that phrase. And that's not all. If he was killed at the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing.
And that would be...
How the time of death was made to look later than it actually was, the proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. Yes, Stan is a real phrase. For God's sakes. Alright, so it's got to have something to do with the actual sanctum itself, right? So... Oh, funny enough, this points out to how the time of death was made to appear later than it... Okay, hold on a moment. Let me read this real quick just so that, like, my brain, my gears are moving right. Okay, what we thought we saw Acolyte Zealot praying during the rite, he was already dead. That's not all. He was killed at the inner sanctum. That would explain one more thing. How the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. And we were talking about the whole, like, freezing cold bit at one point, right? So let's think. Actually, hold on a second. I think that actually is in the newspaper. The area around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today. The warmer temperature will make for excellent prayer weather. No. Okay, actually, no, that does not do it. Hello, Shadow. Okay, wait a minute. Which one of these things specifically talked about cold weather? Also, there's this bit here. I feel like that's gonna come into play at some point. Let me see. The autopsy report. Shadow says, I return. The internet's just even slower than usual. Oh, dear God. Here. Nothing about weather in here. Again, we're looking for cold, I think. Was there a bit of, like, news about the... Maybe, yeah, this might have something to do with it just because it's talking about, like, the cold up there. Let's give it a shot.
Do you truly believe that could affect the estimated time of death?
And why not?
Then let us test this idea on your body.
Nerd. Pass.
Mr. Wright's body may still be alive, but he appears very much brain dead.
Damn it. Ugh, I blew that one.
So, no one attempted to cover up the true time of death?
No, I believe someone did. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. Was it something about warming the body? I don't even frickin'... Maybe it's the water. Shit! I'm having fun! It's cold or something. Sorry, my brain is not working at 100 miles an hour at this moment. Okay, we talked about the stained water and whatnot. Page-shaped tattoo. Did I remember to save? Well, this game is very, very nice when it comes to saves and whatnot, so... The dagger. That. Flower. Picture. Feast. Dark Soul. Okay, photo of the secret rebel hideout. There was a luminol maybe was there anything else about this place that would make sense? No, not that I can think of. I don't think the autopsy report would say anything about it. Maybe something to do with, like, this? Here? No? Shit? Screw it. Okay, apparently that's right.
Why, these are photos of the inner sanctum.
I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is right here in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. Okay. I wasn't really thinking about the shoveled snow in the corner of that one picture.
The time was mistaken, and the place too. And just what do you believe that proves?
That my client is innocent.
What of our fingerprints on the dagger? And the Plume Punisher theme the victim heard? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence.
I see your point. Wasn't this your big chance, Nick? I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you.
Actually, that might be possible, at least for one of them.
Really? What's this?
You say you can contradict an argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well, let us see you try.
Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo. Oh. The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. The theme.
The Plume Punisher theme? And how do you intend to support such a claim?
Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something there that played the theme song other than my client's strap.
It wasn't the strap. Is this true?
The item that played the Plume Punisher theme song was this. And it was the clock.
Take that!
This is a Plume Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off.
What proof do you have that the alarm went off?
Objection!
What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song?
Well, there we go. Do not twist the facts with your lawyerly wiles. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. And here is what really happened.
Oh, very well. Let's go ahead and murder the ever-loving hell out of the insight. The victim stood with his hand on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon on the day before the Wright.
Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened.
I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger.
Most impressive, Your Benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case.
Now that I've helped out... No, there is one.
What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency?
Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same.
Alright, let's try. So, alright, let's think about this. So, there's Ging Kill. The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon, day before the Wright. Someone was there. The theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused plunged her knife into the defensive victim's back. The blade struck true. So, the thing that changed was this. Stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. He was pushed somehow. Is there something about that? You know, I got an idea. Yeah. Shadow says, I highly doubt anyone can help, but does anyone know where or how to find or make a bird head figurine or full bird figures with movable beaks? There's probably somebody that makes those on the internet. I don't know. The thing that immediately popped into my brain was somebody that might have like a 3D printer. That's all I can think. Anyway, I'm curious. The accused plunged her knife into the defenseless victim's neck. Did it, though? Did it really?
Objection!
Oh, fuck! Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision?
Inconsistent? I think not.
Exactly. That's where the inconsistency... shoot. Oh, open and closable beaks. Like I said, I feel like that would be a case of, like, you know, some kind of a 3D printed item. Shoot. Maybe there's something to this. I tried pointing out the heavy thing. A tutorial from Etsy probably covers that sort of thing. Yeah, kind of. That's what I was thinking. Well, the thing that I thought was like, oh, what's that one thing? I think it's like Thingiverse, and it maybe like search up Thingiverse and see if anybody makes like, you know, birds with movable beaks and stuff. It's a shot in the dark, but there is a chance that maybe you can have it 3D printed. And if you know somebody that has a 3D printer or know a way to get it 3D printed, then I don't know, maybe. Okay, so hands on the stone slab in the hideout. So the things that changed were this. The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. Afternoon of the day before the riot. Someone was there. Accused plunged knife in defenseless victim's neck. Blade struck true. I feel like I'm not going to be able to do anything with that. Stood with his hands on the stone slab. And I feel like maybe something to do with the hands on the stone slab in the hideout. Now let's think about the order of events that happen here. Okay, that's absolutely true. Again, this whole heavy situation is really messing. Maybe this is the what I'm supposed to, like this statement with this.
Objection!
Yeah, I picked the wrong statement. Son of a bitch. The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer, but he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from?
Yes, I see your point.
Since the victim was standing, he couldn't have been held down. Ape!
Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim?
What caused the heavy sensation Zilot felt? Any thoughts, Maya? I agree that sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zilot's hands on the stone slab. Why were they even there? Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation?
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us?
Of course! If I just envision the state of Zilot was in when he was killed, the cause of the heaviness the victim felt was the culprit jumping on him. No, it's the falling stone slab. The only conceivable cause is the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath.
What?
Huh? Oh, the stone slab came falling down on him, crushing him underneath. Right. That was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt.
While your theory is impressive, you have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death. Rather, he was stabbed.
Oh yeah.
Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the stone slab had fallen on him?
I do, somehow.
Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have both been crushed together.
Well, would you care to explain?
Just after I save, sir. Boops. Sure, I'd love to. That doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim? The killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was?
Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. There isn't enough space between the two to use any of the weapons found within.
Yeah, there's not much space by the entrance, is there? So what was the real murder weapon then? Better think of something. If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy doesn't mention that. Then he must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger. Why is your internet so bad, Shadow says. You're on the road. Clearly.
Would the defense care to offer an explanation sometime this century?
Oh, I think I know. Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Something that had a shape similar to the Warbod dagger?
Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright.
This shows what really killed the victim. Yeah.
Take that!
Is this not the photo from the scene of the High Priest's murder? Are you suggesting the murder weapon is hidden herein?
This is what really took Perez Zalot's life. The statue.
Take that!
But that is the...
The Warbot statue? Exactly. The Warbot statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it. That is what really took the victim's life.
You imbecilic fool. The statue was outside of the hideout. How do you propose it impaled someone who was inside?
Haven't you heard? The Warbot statue also functions as the hideout's door.
What do you mean?
The statue can pull a complete switcheroo.
A switcheroo?
Oh, I see you haven't heard that one. To put it simply, it's a revolution. A revolving door. Sweet.
A revolving door? Why, that makes perfect sense.
Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. The world revolving. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling towards him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but its weight forced him backwards. Unfortunately, the Warbot statue was right behind him. This cannot be! Got him! But the accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger. She had held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her prints got on it.
This is a shocking turn of events, but there's a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. I believe we must accept that the Warbot statue was what killed the victim.
Sweet. Now that we know how Acolyte Zalot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick. Yeah, but what about the other crime?
How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth.
No, Your Benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights.
But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time?
Your Benevolence, are you unwell? All the color has drained from your face.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I will be fine.
Oh dear. No, she's not going to be happy about all of this. You killed a lot of people.
Continue your proceedings without me.
As you wish.
Go off and think about what you've done. I felt kind of bad for her.
Now then, I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died.
Acolyte Zealot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbot dagger was thrust into it, to make it look like the murder weapon.
That does seem to agree with what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths?
I believe stabbing Acolyte Zealot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was... Oh dear. I have one chance. A warning from the Twilight Realm. A crime committed... Oh, for fuck's sake. This one's actually really easy. Oh, Shadow says, I made it home, and now I get to have more peach juice stuff. Woo, nice. For God's sakes. I thought this would be a lot harder, because I'm like, oh no, 3 choices, save. No, this is pretty easy. Make it look like a serial murder. There we go. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right. The real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case.
They did?
That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away. Not if he has anything to say about it. Oh, put your freaking moonspeak away.
Your reasoning has more holes in it than cheese your foreigners so enjoy.
What?
Like those putrid hole-riddled clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid hole-ridden brain, has putrefied.
What's this deal with things going putrid? My man speaking in Windings! Nice one, funny stuff.
You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows.
Nayuta Ninjutsu.
Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the rite, but Acolyte Zealot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest.
I bet he Naruto runs. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life!
When the High Priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him.
I believe Prosecutor Sadmati has posed a compelling scenario.
Oh Jesus, Mint is speaking in nothing but like wingdings and like characters. That's a mess and a half.
The defense, on the other hand, has yet to disprove the accused's guilt.
Shadow says my internet is totally wrecked right now. It's normal for every place except for Twitch. That's very strange. Let me take a look at the performance real quick and see if there's anything weird going on with this. No, my output seems totally normal. I don't really know. Have you refreshed your browser? And by refresh, I mean like literally closed out of it and opened it up again. Swapping between different versions of internet, that can do that. Anyway. Why would my client move Acolyte Zealot's body to where everyone could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? She had no reason to do any of those things.
The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of, Lady Kira will slay the defiant dragons.
So that's why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see.
Now he has the judge convinced too? Boba says, have you tried turning it off and on again? You know, as cliche as that is, that actually works very well. Lol, it just completely stopped. I thought I'd finally made some headway.
Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not?
Groan of distress? kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with. Shadow says Arrow 4000, the video is unavailable or not supported. My God, I'm not entirely okay, everybody else in the chat, are you guys having a reasonable time watching me do the thing? Because if you guys are having a reasonable time doing the thing, then I think, I don't know, Shadow, take your computer and throw it in holy water. Don't actually do that, because it's probably going to kill it. Funny Stuff's having an okay time. Well, there we go. Anyways, I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya.
Is it not time to end your futile struggle?
The miracle never happened.
Okay, you were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking.
Funny Stuff says dip the computer in olive oil. I've heard that actually oil doesn't really mess with computers too badly because it's not, I mean, a certain type of oil. There are some computers that like you, oh God, I'm trying to remember exactly my science here. There's a specific type of oil that if you dip like a motherboard and components into it, it will cool the computer as opposed to, you know, just causing electrical shock all over the freaking thing. But, like, it's got to be very specific circumstances. Like, oh my God. Anyway.
Accept the death that we now awaits you, and in doing so, finally know peace.
A dead lawyer walking indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Kurain? But I must admit, I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from his own putrid body on the verge of death.
Now I'm a rotting zombie! Think, who could have killed Zealot the day before the Wright? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum? Only those involved with the Wright can enter the sanctum, so... Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the secret hideout. And the only person who was involved with the Wright had access to the sanctum and was suspected of being a rebel is... Ah! Did something come to mind? Yes, except there's one huge problem. A huge problem?
What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall?
Mint says it was me, I did it. Up, confess!
I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection.
Testing, can anyone hear you? Well, I can see your comment. Hello, Shadow. If I don't do something, Prosecutor Sadmadhi will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this, regardless of that huge problem. Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Perez Zealot's murder.
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist.
You're back. What happened? Well, we blew the seance out of the water, in case you didn't see that bit. No, there is one person who knew everything.
Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us, who might that be?
I believe the prime suspect in Acolyte Zealot's murder is...
Take that!
It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum, and who knew of the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the Wright.
You would pin a crime upon the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales.
Have you no shame?
Dead men tell no tales. That is definitely a problem. If only the High Priest could tell his side of the story. Can you turn into a dude? What? Do I have something on my face? Wait a second. Could this actually work? Oh no, don't tell me I have some of my breakfast caught between my teeth. No, if there's even the slightest possibility, I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest's testimony.
His testimony? And just how do you propose we get the deceased to testify?
There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as channeling. Summon him here by means of spirit channeling.
What did you just say?
Spirit channeling? Has this lawyer finally gone insane? This is sacrilege. May the Holy Mother strike him down. Funny Stuff says this case answers one major question fans have been having for years. Ooh, I'm curious about that one.
Peace! I am frankly astonished you even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Garan can perform.
Maya, turn into an old dude.
And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duties to perform it at our pleasure.
I suspected as such. That means our only hope is... It's okay, Nick. You can tell them. But Maya, I thought you wanted to keep it a secret here in Kurain. Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law or violates some religious precepts, so I don't think we'll be punished. At least, I hope not. We'll probably be burned to the stake. But this is a crucial period for you. It'll decide whether you become Master of Kurain. We don't have any other choice now, do we? If I'm found guilty, it'll be a lot worse than not becoming Master of Kurain. Alright, thanks, Maya. Actually, there is someone here who is capable of channeling spirits. But Her Benevolence Princess Rafa finds the divination seance to be a challenge. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she, aside from the Queen? That would be... me. Oh, that's not gonna go over well. Is this some sort of joke? A foreigner could not possibly have such power. Even the royal priestess is incapable of such if that... Oh, God.
Peace, peace, I say! Is this true? Is the accused capable of performing the secret art of spirit channeling?
Well, yes. Yes, I can. Now, Your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin. Oh, dear. Did we piss you off? Your Benevolence! This is an outrage! An outrage, I say! First you make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling? Her Benevolence speaks the truth! Spirit channeling is a sacred rite! Foreign devils! I say they should be put to death immediately! Still your voices! Barbed Head, spirit channeling is a most sacred and secret of arts. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose? Yes, I am.
Your Benevolence, are you saying you approve of their use of spirit channeling?
I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another of their lies, they shall be executed on the spot.
Shit. Here, give me a second. I had something fly back behind me and crash land on the floor. Hold on a second. Where'd that go? Do I have like a chip clip that fell on the floor? Oh, nope, here it is. Found it. It was actually on my chair.
Very well then. Your Benevolence? What if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit?
Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits?
Hey.
No, but I wanted to be sure, as I am responsible for the safety of all present.
Well, an inexperienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit. But do not fear, for I have a magnetama of parting.
Oh, sweet. Never heard of this before.
With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power.
Why don't we have that? Shit.
That's a relief indeed.
These foreigners have thrown down the gauntlet. Let us not shirk from their challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Sadmati? Perfectly, Your Benevolence.
Very well. The accused may channel the High Priest's spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. We will resume as soon as the preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned.
I mean, what the heck? How long are the preparations? To be continued, what... But I'm so curious. Thank God. I think my health is probably going to be put back after this. Well, let's go ahead. No. I'm not done yet. Let's give this thing the benefit of the doubt. Let's try. May 12th. High Court of Kurain. Accused lobby. Sorry, Maya, but this was the only way. You sure you're up for this? Thanks for believing in me, Nick. Even though I don't know if my channeling ability is on point yet. Oh, right. Before she started training here, her success rate was only about 30%. I know you can do it, Maya. At least I hope she can. So, you sure you're ready? Yeah, at least I think so. You don't sound so confident. What about all your training? Training's one thing, actually doing it is another. Oh, I see. Uh-oh. If she fails to channel the High Priest, we're as good as dead. Relax, Nick. You can count on me. I'll show you what my training's done for me. This'll be a moment you'll never forget. Okay. I just hope it's unforgettable in a good way. Yeah, because, like, every single time that she's attempted to try and, like, pull a spirit, it was always just, like, very fleeting. Like, a very barely, a little bit of a chance that maybe someone will show up. Maybe. It happened in the most convenient times, though. Phoenix is, like, married and older in this game, right? No, he's not, like, he's older, but he's not married. Once we hear Abbott Inme's story, I'm sure the truth will come to light. Or he's just gonna be a dick. He's 34. Hooray. Shadow says, what happened? Like, what actually just happened? Okay, sorry. Internet's being total. Did Phoenix ever get married? I mean, this is pretty much the final game in the lineage, so... You can't see the screen. Shadow. Defrag the hell out of your internet. That's all I can tell you. Anyway. I hope so. But he was hiding the fact that he was a rebel, so I doubt it'll be as cut and dried as all that.
They are ready for you. Please return to the Hall of Justice at once.
Bitby, can you say something in the chat because I'm... Man, again, I think your internet is cursed. There. Cursed. Anyway. Wish I could help, but I'm no mechanic. I'm a doctor, not an internet practitioner. Okay, Maya, I'm counting on you. You got it. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So what preparations do you need to make in order to do that? I don't know. Are you back? I don't know, Shadow. Are you back? May 12th, High Court of Kurain. Boba says, my bad, I was told he is married. Nope.
We have received official approval for the accused to channel a spirit here today. Now, if you will, Miss Faye, please proceed.
Yes, Your Majesty.
I can't believe this. Only the Queen should channel spirits.
Execute them! Put them to death right now! Come on, Maya. I'm counting on you. I have been studying here in Kurain for 2 years now, so that one day I will be the master of Kurain, a village of spirit mediums back home. But first, I shall show you all the fruits of my training in your kingdom. Wow, she seems really confident. Stuck up, bitch. A neophyte practitioner such as you could not possibly channel a spirit. Out of my way, Missy. Okay, your benevolence, how about this? If I succeed, will you stop calling me a neophyte? Watch me, bitch. Very well, if you succeed. Oh, I will. Just you watch. Are we gonna watch her, like, her bones just start splitting? Oh, spirit of trust in me, return now to the world of the living. Again, I feel like this is going to look disgusting. Or a blinding flash of light. Oh, Christ. Funny Stuff says, behold, the question fans have been having for eons. What if Maya channels a dude?
What is this place? Oh my!
No! This cannot be!
Palakoka!
I did it. It's the High Priest. The accused really can channel spirits.
I don't believe it. The accused's spiritual power is the real deal.
Oh God, kill it! Again! Go, Maya? Question mark? I do not understand. This cannot be. This simply cannot be. I must step out now before I forget myself.
Old man Maya.
Abbot in me! Would this be the Twilight Realm? And what of this?
Oh God.
Luxurious mane of hair. Fuck. Is it perhaps a gift from the Holy Mother for decades of faithful service? Abbot in me? My, but if it isn't His Majesty, have you too shuffled off that modal coil? Please do not count me among the dead. It is only you who have passed on. But the spirit medium Maya Fey has brought you back amongst us today. Why? Acolyte Fey has mastered the secret art of spirit channeling? I suppose that explains these gorgeous locks.
Shadow says, you thought there wouldn't be a dead person sassier than Maya or Dahlia. You were wrong.
When I pass from this world, I too hope to be channeled with a full head of hair. Though it be for a briefest of moments. I give thanks for this splendid coiffure. Praise be to the Holy Mother. However, this kimono is a bit too snug for my tastes. If you would excuse me.
Let's just make sure you put that back on before you change back.
There, that is better.
Could we get to his testimony now? And I wish he'd kept his top on.
Why, you are the foreign lawyer the people speak of as of late. And is this not the Hall of Justice? Why have I been summoned here? Forgive us for calling you back from your eternal rest. But you have been accused of murder. Might we ask you to testify on your own behalf?
What the fuck?
I have been accused of murder? That is troubling indeed.
Ah! What's with that crazy pose?
Is this really cause for such astonishment? Even the lowliest amongst can achieve such body control with the proper training.
I feel like Maya's gonna wake up and she's going to be sore as shit. Oh, I wonder if Albi will be able to do that someday. Albi can already turn into a complete pretzel.
Will the defense please explain the situation to the High Priest?
I'd be happy to. Your disciple, Perez Zalat, has been murdered. It happened on the day before the purification rite. And the crime occurred in the rebel hideout hidden within the inner sanctum.
Acolyte Zalat! He's been killed? Who would do such a thing?
Someone who knew of the hideout and had access to the inner sanctum. In other words, you, Abbot in me. After all, weren't you secretly a rebel? What the fuck? Oh dear. That's still Maya's body. I hope he doesn't break anything. Wow, the High Priest is amazing!
To think he had mastered such an advanced prayer pose.
He's still worthy of our venerated praise be the Holy Mother, derpty derp derp.
Oh my. Have my rebel
Allegiances. Damn it. I thought it was said alliances for a second there.
Have my rebel alliances been exposed? Allegiances? Not even my wife knew of that. It seems to rest in peace. Wait. It seems to rest in peace is not my fate.
Why did you, a devout priest of Curianism, join the rebellion?
The High Priest has come back to us for but a brief time, Defense. Shall we not cut to the chase and ask the most pressing of questions?
Oh, right.
Abbot Inme, the prosecution believes the one who slew both you and Acolyte Zalat to be Maya Fey, who had been playing the role of Lady Kira in the rite.
Being that I was dead until just a moment ago, my memory is a bit hazy.
Could you please do your best to remember?
The High Priest says his memory is hazy.
It's all coming back to me. It is as the prosecutor Satmari concluded. I was slain by none other than Maya Fey.
Bull honk.
The High Priest's statement has proven my assertion with regards to his murder, correct?
No! What is he doing? Someone stop this man. I am scared. There is no stopping him. I mean, unless, Miss Seance in the corner over there could stop it. But what about Acolyte Zalat? You were the one who killed him, weren't you?
I know not about my disciple's murder. Furthermore, I have an alibi of my own.
An alibi? Seriously?
Seems the testimony the defense has been hoping for is working against him. Now, Abbot Inme, your testimony, if you please.
Very well.
Yes, of course.
At least he's not going nuts and, ripping limbs off, okay? And I mean his own limbs. Just to be spiteful and an asshole. Speaking of which, if he breaks down, what happens? Maya?
I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests at my home. With my shaved legs! And I believe my guests can corroborate this.
He is his own femur breaker. You had guessed? Just past noon. That's right about the time Zalat was murdered. Are you sure about that?
Absolutely.
Come to think of it, Rafa told me about a spirit's memory.
A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death.
So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time? Between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled?
Yes, and yet, it clearly recalls all the memories it had in life.
The High Priest seems to know exactly what he's talking about. So the question is, what would be the best angle of attack? I don't know, let's just poke and prod him, and hopefully we got all of our health back. Nope, we did not. I'm just gonna go ahead and save just in case. Ironclad alibi.
Hold it!
You used the word alibi as if it were second nature.
Are you perhaps mocking me? Or is it perhaps the kingdom of Kirain itself you wish to ridicule?
Come on, everyone and their grandma knows what alibi means. We're not a bunch of country bumpkins here. We have plenty of courtroom dramas and TV.
Clearly.
Peace, 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 I say! Mr. Wright, would you care to clarify your last statement?
Please, don't take it the wrong way. It's just alibi is a rather technical term for a priest to use so naturally.
I assure you, I know how to use the term. In fact, I had even hoped for a chance to do so one day. I suppose that even I, a high priest, am not immune to such trivial worldly attachments.
No, I see. Still, he seems unusually calm and composed. It's almost as if he had prepped himself for something like this. Being brought back in the body of a woman.
Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests at my home.
Hold it!
Guests? And you were entertaining them personally?
That I was. We gathered round the table for a most enjoyable conversation.
He said his guests could corroborate his alibi. That can't be good for her case. Are you sure that was the same day as the murder? Maybe you misremembered?
Gah! Do not doubt my mnemonic faculties. I may have died, but my memories up to that point are crystal clear.
Sorry, he's pretty thin-skinned for a priest. Though, I guess I should have known better than to doubt his memory. Are we gonna do this again?
A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death.
So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between the moment of his death and the moment it is channeled?
Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all the memories it had in life.
There's nothing better than enjoying Ying Hill cuisine with dear friends. That way, everyone's breath becomes equally malodorous.
Right. Mint says, my face when I can't watch ads for bits. You mean like watch ads and then you earn bits through Twitch? That'd be an odd system. Not entirely sure like why they would ever add that. Wheatley says, a very ironic flashback considering what we're talking about. Anyway.
And I believe my guests can corroborate this.
Hold it!
Anyway. That's what you do, Bitby. Or at least that's what I do. I'm poor. No, that's fine. And, hey, just the fact that you're here, I appreciate it very much. And who exactly were your guests that day? Don't tell me they were rebels, so they can't be called here to testify.
It was none other than His Majesty along with his family. He couldn't attend the rite due to work, so he stopped by ahead of time. My, how his daughter has grown.
Wait a second.
Let me set the record straight now. I am not a rebel. Thank you for that wonderful meal, Abbot Inme. Lady Inme's cooking simply cannot be beat.
What a sassy vixen.
So there you have it.
When exactly was His Majesty at your home?
He was there from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Indeed, precisely the time period within which Acolyte Zilot was slain. Yes, and we had a rousing chat concerning the game of Katsu Demal.
Oh, god damn it. But
I'll just have that added to the testimony. After all, it was I who visited the High Priest's home. My guests that day were His Majesty and his family. They visited from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Hold it!
Your Majesty, are you sure this testimony is completely accurate?
As sure can be. Oh, how wonderful it is to finally have my actions be admissible as evidence in court. His Majesty was at my home during the exact time period of the murder. Come, let's put this behind us.
I could not have possibly committed this crime.
How can you be so sure? What if the clock or watch you were using was off? Or you misread the time?
There was a clock right near the table, and it had exact same time as my watch.
Shoot.
Now, do you understand, lawyer?
Okay, well, I guess there was nothing we could possibly do with that testimony.
As you can see, my alibi is airtight. Or do you still think I could have killed Acolytes a lot?
Urgh. His Majesty's a witness.
Are you satisfied now? There's not a single discrepancy in Abbot Inme's alibi.
If I give up now, it's all over. Now hold on a second. Is there anything wrong with the High Priest's testimony? I don't know. I'm just gonna shout and see if it works. There is a discrepancy in the High Priest's testimony.
There is? Well, then perhaps you could explain what it might be?
This is what was wrong with his testimony. His prayer feast was short. He's too friendly with the judge. He knew the time of the crime. Shit! After Abbot Inme was channeled, no one ever stated what the Acolyte Zealot was murdered.
Now that you mention it!
Despite that, you claim to have an alibi from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. That means you knew that Acolyte Zealot was dead. When you were still alive! Oh, Jesus. Wait, I think I saw something just now. No, I must be imagining things. So, tell me, how did you know what time the crime had been committed?
About that... Open your heart! Let the Holy Mother in! Why, we've been blessed with the High Priest's sacred words of prayer! All who serve her holiness must strive to banish worldly desires from their soul. Open your heart, let the Holy Mother in! Purge your mind of greed and bias! I feel as if my very soul has been cleansed.
You can't fool me. Prayer may banish worldly desires, but it can't make a contradiction disappear. What do you have to say about it, you jerk?
How can you be so sure?
What's that supposed to mean?
This lawyer seems to think little of the power of Kyrianist prayer.
Huh. Oh, you're gonna do this again. Man!
Abbot Inme was at home during the crime but knew of what happened at the hideout. I believe this can be explained thusly. He must have had a way to monitor the hideout from his home.
What?
You never cease to amaze, prosecutor. As he has surmised, there was a listening device installed at the hideout. It enabled me to instantly learn of anything unusual even when I was not there.
Oh, right. Didn't we find a microphone? I think we might have.
Remember, the rebels have been using this as a top secret hideout. It would be perfectly natural for them to install such an apparatus.
Wait, come to think of it, when I was searching the rebel hideout... There's something under the banner. A microphone? What's this doing here? Was someone trying to record something with it? That was a listening device?
It starts recording whenever it detects movement. And I heard just such a recording after His Majesty and his family left. If you look in the desk in my study, you will find the tape in question.
Whoa, hey, we could use that.
All right, then. Bailiff! Yes, Your Majesty. Go retrieve the tape in question from the High Priest's home. At once, Your Majesty.
power of Kyrianist prayer. Even a putrid brain such as yours should understand it now.
It's like the contradiction really did vanish.
We shall ascertain the contents of the recording once we have the tape. In the meantime, I would ask Abbot Inme to continue with his testimony.
What else is there to talk about? I don't know. I want to see that tape.
Very well.
What else do you have to say for yourself? I'm a poke more holes than you. You're the Swiss cheese, asshole.
I was entertaining His Majesty and his family when the crime occurred. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation between Acolyte Zalot and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise, followed by haunting silence.
An altercation? I have to find some way to attack his alibi. If only Maya were here. Shoot. She has a way of putting me at ease. Not anymore. This is just creepy. But seeing her like this is only creeping me out.
Though the High Priest was a rebel, he was still a Kyrianist holy man. Therefore, take care in your questioning, lest you invoke the ire of our people.
How dare he suspect the High Priest? May the Holy Mother strike him blind!
As if this wasn't hard enough already. Wait a minute. Hey, Apollo, can you fly out here so I have a butt monkey? Nice try, but I'll stop at nothing to find the truth. Holy smokes. I should probably save just so that I don't horribly fail. Again, I'm riding on 100% perfection right now. Crime. You were entertaining His Majesty and his family during the crime?
Indeed, my wife, Believe, was treating them to her wonderful home cooking.
Your wife was there that day?
Why, yes. She was in the kitchen cooking up a storm the entire time. Come to think of it, I don't think I saw her at all that day. She takes her culinary duties most seriously, you see. That is why she was in the kitchen cooking without pause the entire day.
So the judge never saw Miss Inme. Should I have Abbot Inme add that statement to his Tao? Sure, why not? Please add that statement to your testimony.
As you wish.
That might not be important, but we'll see.
My wife, Believe, was in the kitchen cooking the entire time.
What was your wife making that day?
The menu that day featured... Oh, God. Harten sapes and methtenlother. They are both the traditional Kyrianese dishes.
I can't even begin to imagine what these are.
Oh, yes! The exquisite zest of Harten sapes and the supreme texture of... Lady Inme's cooking that day was utterly unforgettable. Thank you. It brings me great joy to know you enjoyed your meal. Now, once His Majesty and his family had left...
Do you... Okay, by all means, what the hell are the puns?
When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling.
You heard everything from a recording?
Indeed. Each night I would secretly check what the listening device had recorded. I would have been in serious trouble with my lovely wife had she discovered my secret.
Can you really tell what happened by the audio alone?
Long years of ascetic training have sharpened my hearing. It is but a simple matter for me to ascertain a situation by the sounds I hear.
Practicing Kyrianism improves your hearing?
Hearing is but one of the senses it can improve. If one can focus and attain inner peace, all 5 senses can be sharpened. Why, the warbot over in the bazaar just cried. Did you not hear it?
Give me a break. Shadow says hot and spicy and melt in mouth. Although the second one is a bit of a stretch. I don't know how moth would be pronounced mouth. I can see it.
Sounded like an altercation between Acolytes a lot and a...
Hold it!
Hold on. Are you sure about those voices? Was it really Acolyte Zalot and Miss Faye?
I'd say that was the most reasonable conclusion under the circumstances. Or perhaps Acolyte Faye had an alibi that you can prove.
I'm afraid not.
Then I suggest you make like a mollusk and clam up. Now, I will continue my testimony if I may. After that, there was a loud noise, followed by haunting silence.
Hold it!
A loud noise? I'd say that's worth looking into.
It was a terrible crashing sound. Poor Acolytes a lot. It must have felt so heavy.
It must have been the sound of that stone slab falling over. Should I have him add that statement to his testament? Sure. Please add that statement to your testimony.
As you wish. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Oh, poor Zalot. It must have felt so heavy.
Hold it!
You believe that terrible crash is connected to Acolyte Zalot's death?
Yes, the sound, no doubt, was poor Zalot's death knell. Such a tragedy, for he was a fine disciple. I would ask all here today to give a prayer for his departed soul. Zushre Matami Yama.
Zushire Matsumi Yama Zushire Debadekadura. Cool.
I had high hopes for that young man's future. Zushre Matami Yama.
Why do I feel like such a jerk for just trying to do my job right now?
Mr. Wright, do you still feel the need to question the High Priest? His alibi is tight as tight can be.
This isn't going so well. I better ask him about something else. I'm curious, Abbott in me. This feels like one of those situations where I should definitely save. Did you stop by the rebel hideout after His Majesty left?
Yes, I thought it would be wise to assess the situation. But as I said before, there was nothing to see. The hideout appeared as it always had.
And the victim's body?
It was nowhere to be found. Acolyte Faye must have already disposed of it and anything else incriminating.
So, when you saw the rebel hideout, it looked like it does in this photo.
Yes, I would say that is how it appeared that day.
So the stone slab had been put back in place. Neato. So someone had to lift that thing back into place.
Mr. Wright, is it not time to concede defeat?
No, wait, I just need a little more time.
If you insist.
Okay, we're back. So now okay, all right. We now know that the stone slab was lifted back into place somehow. So in that case, sounded like an altercation between Acolyte and Faye. After that, there was a loud noise followed by a haunting silence. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Poor Zalot, it must have been felt so... So the first thing that immediately pops into my mind was like, how do you propose that this thing was lifted back into place? Like, and what piece of evidence could I possibly use to try and prove that? Let me think about that one. Maybe I'm wrong, but family brand new flag. Trying to think. I can't do anything with the seance, so that's not gonna help. Maybe there is something to do with the actual picture here in question. Let me think. Well, funny enough, I actually do see some chains over in the corner. So I don't know if somebody would use that as an excuse to be like, oh yeah, that's how they did it. I'm gonna like take a shot in the dark here, and I'm gonna attempt to try and present this.
Objection!
Hello! Abbott and me, you said, and I quote, "Poor Zalot, it must have felt so heavy." Stable as ever. Why do you think he felt something heavy? You said the hideout looked like it did in this photo. If so, there's nothing that would lead you to believe he had experienced a heavy feeling. Oh, wait a minute, that's right. The fact is, of course, a stone slab did fall over onto Acolyte Zalot, impaling him on the Warbot statue behind him. But that was only revealed through Her Benevolence's divination seance earlier.
Would the defense please get to the point?
My point is, simply hearing a crash sound shouldn't have automatically led him to conclude the victim was crushed to death.
I still don't see your point.
I'm saying that the High Priest knew. He knew how the victim was really killed.
What?
And that is information only the real killer could have known. At least the body doesn't change like lickety-split, because otherwise that would be terrifying. I definitely saw it that time. I've got the High Priest's spirit shaking in his boot. Or should I say, sandals.
Need I remind you, Abbot Inme was with his Majesty at the time of the crime. Such an alibi precludes him from being the killer.
That's true, so he can't be the killer. However, he knew how Zalot was killed. Something only the killer could know. Can this discrepancy be resolved somehow?
Well, Mr. Wright, we're waiting for an explanation.
I was just getting to that. Time to think of something quick. The High Priest knew something only the killer could have known because he heard it during the... No, he didn't hear it during trial. He inferred it after the fact. He heard it from the real... He must have heard how the victim died from the real killer.
The real killer?
Of course, that makes perfect sense. I don't want to believe it, but this is the only possible explanation.
So tell us, who is this real killer?
It's gotta be someone close to the High Priest. Someone without an alibi. The person most likely to be Zalot's killer is... Holy piss! She wasn't around at the time, was she? She did the feeding and stuff. But...
Take that!
Your Majesty, while you were visiting the High Priest's home, you didn't see Miss Inme at all, did you?
No, I never saw her, but what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, Boba's got to catch a connecting flight to Iceland, then Scotland. All right, have a safe flight. Did the High Priest ever leave your sight?
No, we were talking the entire time. And the food was brought right to the room's entryway.
So, the High Priest has an ironclad alibi. But his wife does not.
What the devil are you insinuating?
I'm insinuating that Miss Inme might have killed Acolyte Zealot! I knew she was weirdly suspicious and creepy. Oh, Shadow, did your internet die again? I don't know. Call your ISP. Scream at them.
You have a lot of nerve making such a baseless allegation.
She had no motive to kill Acolyte Zalot. He was like family to her.
No. We can't entirely discount the idea. Especially if you consider that
Miss Inme could have been the one posing as Lady Kira.
Even a fool must temper his foolishness at times. Or do you truly believe Lady Kira would kill Acolyte Zalot, though he was not a rebel?
Objection!
As we all know, the High Priest was secretly a rebel. It would follow that his favorite disciple could very well be a rebel too.
Are you suggesting that Miss Inme killed her husband as well?
As sad as it is to think she'd kill her own husband to rid the kingdom of rebels, I don't think we can rule it out. Oh, what do you think?
Yikes! You claim my wife is that rebel-hunting Lady Kira, and that she slew both Zalot and myself? My lovely wife? That is utterly impossible! Yikes! I've never seen the High Priest so angry!
It is as Abbot Inme stated. And the accused has already been found guilty of his murder. It is far too late to overturn it.
That's right, Mr. Wright. But now apologize to the good priest before he gets angry again. Quickly, now.
No! I'm not gonna apologize. The true identity of Lady Kira is a major piece, to this trial's puzzle. Admit it, Abbot Inme. Your wife, Lady Inme, killed you. Yet even now, you continue to lie in an effort to protect her.
How absurd. It appears the lawyer has forgotten. My lovely wife could not possibly battle the rebels in the guise of Lady Kira. For we were blessed by her holiness, and she is with child. Praise be to the Holy Mother.
I completely forgot about that.
That abominable Lady Kira figure who slew me and Acolyte Zealot was the accused.
This is bad, but I can't give up now. Don't forget, my client doesn't have the strength to fight rebels either. I don't know, maybe she's a buff, she's like, a very buff, muscly man underneath all of the robes and all that. You don't know. Maybe she's been doing some heavy-duty training and she's just very lean. How could a weak young woman like her possibly... For God's sakes.
You foolish oaf of a lawyer. If only you were as blessed as Lady Inme.
What?
Surely the accused possesses the strength, or should I say, the power. The power to battle those black-hearted rebels?
What are you talking about?
My good prosecutor, I see you have come to the same conclusion as I. Such keen insight.
Then you have figured it out as well, Abbot Inme. May I ask you to explain it to this putrid-brained lawyer?
Certainly, for I cannot allow him to frame my lovely wife for murder. Fallen devil! Your Majesty, allow me to testify as to how my affair is that murderous Lady Kira. Well, if it would assuage your anger, then by all means, please testify.
All right, what's your friggin' excuse? I will piss on it.
Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kira's spirit. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it. So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to root out the rebels among us. She attacked and killed me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman.
Oh, really? But... Mint is going to play Roblox. Very neat.
Do you understand now? Murder by spirit channeling explains everything. This is the only way the accused could have defeated one rebel after another.
Indeed, I am a living, or shall I say, dead, proof of her terrible power.
No! Maya's ability to channel spirits. It's come back to haunt her.
Now, is it not time to let it go and move on, Defense?
No, never. I'll never give up. Now what? Think. Brain blast! How can I prove that Maya couldn't have channeled Lady Kira? By sniffing out bullshit, that's how. Okay. Still teetering on only 1 health, and somehow I have not failed yet. Let's do this. Your friends are playing Starbound. They've been doing so for the past 3 hours. Hey, I mean, Starbound's a fun game. Anyway, channeled Lady Kira's spirit. Really? My client channeled Lady Kira? Isn't that a little far-fetched?
Far-fetched, you say? Why, the very fact that I am here proves she has the power to channel spirits.
But you no proof she actually channeled Lady Kira.
Oh, but I do. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it.
Hold it!
While it's true she may be capable of channeling Lady Kira, I doubt there's any proof she actually did.
We are talking about the infamous rebel hunter here. That modern-day Lady Kira has captured many a rebel all by herself. And among them have been more than a few great warriors. Who but the real Lady Kira could have accomplished such a feat? It would be difficult for a mere mortal. That leaves the real Lady Kira of legend as the only likely answer. Magic and mysticism. We believe in everything and anything that isn't science and facts. Indeed. Is this not proof enough that the real Lady Kira of legend has been channeled?
The real Lady Kira of legend. That's an oxymoron if I ever heard one. Then again, the people of Kirain, rather, believe legends to be true.
So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to root out the rebels among us.
Hold it!
Lady Kira is an actual person? Do you really believe there ever was a woman that powerful? One capable of battling rebels much bigger and stronger than herself?
There's no way to prove that. But to doubt the existence of Lady Kira is to doubt Kirianism itself. It is not for us to question, we must simply believe.
Yeah, how dare you doubt our legends? You'll regret saying that, you Paul Kuka. Lady Kira is gonna strike you down. Goop. I won't get anywhere until I refute their claims with some evidence. Oh, shoot.
She attacked and killed me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman.
Hold it!
A strength far beyond any mortal woman? And just how strong would that be?
You need but look at the wound she inflicted upon my body. Though I had hoped to never have to think about that again.
Your wound? It was pretty deep, and there was a tremendous amount of blood.
And while Acolyte Zilot was rather small in stature, he was strong. Nevertheless, he was no match for the sheer strength of Lady Kira.
Maya's spirit channeling is proof that she's Lady Kira. This is not good. I'll have to prove she didn't channel the original Lady Kira. Rightio. Let me take a look at this. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name. I feel like out of anything, this would probably do the proving. That being said, what piece of evidence would fit well with this? So we were looking at this at one point. A tome given only to the one who will play the role of Lady Kira in the Purification Rite. How long has she had this, though? Okay. Speaking the name is unforgivable. Lock this knowledge deep in your heart and devote yourself to the prayer. Okay, so there might be something with that, but let's think about this. The feast, pictures. Well, there's the dagger. No, there's nothing about that. I don't know. This is something specifically about the true name. And the only thing that really lends itself to true name would be that, the tome, so... Yeah, I'd like to think that that's probably where it's coming from. Okay, and then Maya has a statement about the water. But I don't know if that would do it. I'm going to just say the Tome of Secrets have got to... That's got to have something to do with it.
Objection!
Yes. The Tome of Secrets is only given to the priestess who performs the purification rite. Is this your proof that my client could have channeled Lady Kira?
Yes, indeed. For it contains the true name of Lady Kira, a secret only revealed within.
Abbot Inme. I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kira.
What nonsense! Mr. Wright, would you care to explain?
This is why my client couldn't have channeled Lady Kira. Oh, okie dokie. What do we got here? Let me think. What was different about this Lady Kira as opposed to the last one? Mint says how to play any murder game on Roblox. Step 1, wait. Step 2, never grab the gun. What was weird and different about this? I'm trying to recall. I think it was the dagger, if I remember correctly. Maybe. Let me check this real quick. No, the dagger pretty much looks exactly the same. All right. Where can I find a picture of... Nope, not located in here. Where's the picture of the... Oh, I'm overthinking it a little. Oopsies. Okay, so let's think about why couldn't Maya have channeled Lady Kira? What the heck am I pointing at here? Can't be like the text on the... No, I feel like they would not make it the text on the side. I don't know what the heck the text on the side is. Does it have something to do with fingerprints? Nah. Think about just general spirit channeling across the series. What would you need to do it? Do you need a Magatama or something like that? I'm trying to remember correctly. I mean, there's nothing that states that she's not wearing something underneath the robes. Can Phoenix channel a spirit? Unfortunately, no. He doesn't have the Fey blood. Oh, God. What do you need to channel a spirit? Oh, okay. What do you need to channel a spirit according to? Do you need to know the face? I'm starting to wonder that. There we go. Lady Kira's face is hidden behind a mask in the Tome of Secrets. You need both a name and a face to channel a spirit.
It can't be! Oh, God.
Without a face, it would have been impossible for my client to channel Lady Kira.
Oh, my!
Therefore, the claim that she became Lady Kira by means of spirit channeling is patently false.
Ugh.
And with Lady Kira out of the equation, my client had no motive to commit murder.
But then, who is the rebel hunting Lady Kira we've been reading about in the paper?
Patently stupid.
Yes, who is this other suspect, if indeed there is one at all? Let us hear the defense's brilliant deduction.
Think. The true identity of Lady Kira is the key to solving both murders. I thought Miss Inme was suspicious, but her pregnancy takes her out of the running. And Miss Arbol is a rebel, so that doesn't make sense. That leaves us with...
Mr. Wright, you have that look again.
Yeah, the look of confusion. I think I might be able to pull this off, but we'll definitely see.
The one where you know you have to say something, but you can't figure out what it is.
This is my chance to really turn up the heat. I'll just have to stir the pot till something floats to the top. Your Majesty, I know who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Kira.
You do? Are you sure about that?
Yes, completely.
I sense that I may regret this, but please go on and explain.
Thank you, Your Majesty. This is who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Kira. We never 100% guaranteed that he was a rebel hunter. Huh. Again, immigrant. No background. Aside from being a devout monk, apparently. Frickin' traitor. The true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kira we seek is... Parazelot!
What's this? The High Priest's murdered disciple was Lady Kira, you say?
At the very least, he's shady and isn't in the books.
Peace, I say peace! The defense will continue.
Yes, Your Majesty. I whittled down the list of suspects until there was only one left.
But a process of elimination is not the same as solid evidence. I assume you have evidence to back up your claim?
Yes, of course. I will have some in a moment, that is. At least I hope so. Maya wasn't Lady Kira, and neither was Miss Inme, or any of the other possibilities. That leaves a lot, and I have the evidence to prove it. The evidence that proves Acolyte Zalat was posing as Lady Kira is this! Okay. So, let's think about this one. So what items, like, directly tie into Zalat is the question. Is there any good, like, you know, there's a picture of his ass. What's the proof? I'm a little bit empty on brain cells at the moment. My entire skull hurts. Could it have something to do with that tattoo? That's the first thing I'm kind of thinking. Like, is there a reason why he would have the color, that tattoo, that shape, that color? And also, we need to think, okay, we need to think about more things about Lady Kira. Let's think about this. Lady Kira figure that appeared 2 years ago remains mystery. Some town elders see Lady Kira in flesh. Okay. And that's just the weather forecast. What was more stuff about Lady Kira that we could possibly find in here, just to, like, refresh our memories about this information? And what was weird about the costume? I know that there was some interesting stuff about the costume. Well, the fingerprints aren't going to help me out in this situation. Let me see. Family photo was taken during the Feast of the Blessing, where it's customary to partake in dishes during the feast, which starts at noon in the day before the rite and must be finished by 3 p.m. on the same day. Then there's Dirk's book. There's probably nothing about the Culpability Act in there. Shoot! I'm a little bit out of options and ideas in this situation. Probably not my badge. When did Acolyte Zealot actually show up is the question. Here's a good idea. Sure, hold on. No, I can't. I can't go take a look at profile pictures right now. I was gonna go and take a look at some information about like the people in question, but I cannot do that right now. Let me take a look at this. Is there any like clocks or anything in the back that would identify anything? Probably not. Ah! I'm so lost. Screw it. Let's just throw this. Yep, that was wrong.
I fail to see your point.
Of course you don't. I just wanted to throw that out there and see what happened.
Well, here's your answer. I have heard enough. This trial need not be drawn out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charges filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defense Culpability Act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused Maya Fey, and the defense Phoenix Wright.
Darn. So. Let's just see what happens when I press try again. I'd like to get my health back and give this thing a couple more shots. Hopefully it puts me in a good spot. Oh, well, fuck. What's the point of the save feature at this point? Okay. The evidence that proves Acolyte Zealot was posing as Lady Kira is this. All right. So, what was... Okay, about the pictures and stuff. Let me try this. I'm just going to try and, like, present stuff that has Lady Kira in it. Because at this point, I'm a little bit, you know... The tried and true answer of just throw shit at the problem and eventually maybe you'll figure it out. What about the newspaper? Nope. Okay. Then if not that... There's the bloodstained thing, but I don't think that would be it. Here's the warning from Lady Kira. Let's talk about that then. Only someone capable of entering the priest's home could have delivered it. Yeah, I don't know. Hello! This is what proves that Acolyte Zealot was Lady Kira. Lady Kira's warning letter. I totally forgot about the warning letter, I'm gonna be honest. That's probably why I was so flummoxed. How absurd.
What could that possibly prove?
Prosecutor Sadmati. You stated that this warning letter proved that my client was Lady Kira. And the reason you gave was that the High Priest's house was locked tight. But there was another member of the family who lived there. Therefore, Acolyte Zealot could have delivered the warning anytime he wanted.
Dude, what is he talking about? That's just not possible.
Shifty-headed eyes.
Are you saying Lady Kira was not the culprit, but rather the victim?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But that would overturn the entire premise of this case. This trial has proceeded on the assumption Lady Kira was behind the serial killings. But if Lady Kira is one of the victims, who was the killer, and what was their motive?
Just his brain's just completely melted at this point. The only suspect left is Miss Inme, and there's only one possible motive. What if Miss Inme is a rebel?
What? Fiend, you're still bent on casting suspicion upon my lovely wife? Blasphemer! You have no evidence of this. Repent for the mistrust in your soul.
Well, you have no evidence either. After all, the dagger with my client's prints on it wasn't what killed Acolyte Zalot. And the Plume Punisher theme that he heard could have been an alarm clock. That means all the evidence linking her to the crime have been called into question.
Was Lady Inme a rebel, and did she pose as Lady Kira to kill Acolyte Zalot? Or was Acolyte Zalot a rebel, and was the accused the Lady Kira who killed her? I would say either scenario is just as likely. What are we to do now? The alarm clock, you say? Do you mean the one in the rebel hideout?
Yes, but what of it?
So, that's it.
What's gotten into him?
Oh dear. Damn it in me! Just what is so comical? Forgive my outburst. That has simply tickled my funny bone.
What did?
The theme song came from the Plume Punisher clock, you say? That alarm could not possibly have gone off.
What makes you say that? The clock was working just fine the last time I checked.
Try using your head for a change. Would not the existence of a secret hideout be given away if an alarm kept going off?
Wait, you don't mean...
Indeed. We leave the alarm switched off at all times.
No! Well then, why would it be on is the question.
But in that case, I'm sad to say that the defense's claim does not hold water. Would you care to respond, Mr. Wright?
Oh, this can't be happening. Not now.
This should put an end to the lawyer's futile struggles. The theme song the victim heard was from the accused's strap, just as we suspected. Therefore, the accused is the rebel hunting Lady Kira, and the victim's killer.
I need an opening. Something I can raise an objection to.
That Plume Punisher theme song Acolyte Zalot heard in his final moments. I too heard it, by the way, of the listening device.
But did you really? If you'd heard it, why didn't you testify to the fact before?
Is it not obvious? I did not know such a tune could become a key matter of dispute. Yes, the matter of the theme song came up before Abbot Inme was channeled.
Oh, right.
Well then, what if he's lying about the clock's alarm being switched off?
Miserable wretch! That would be a pointless lie, one easily disproven.
If you check the clock, you will see that the alarm is in fact switched off.
Come to think of it.
What a fine item. And the switch, if I'm right.
We set the switch back into the off position before we left.
I remember hearing it clearly. Those distinctive taiko drums in the intro are etched in my mind. They went... Dong 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 ding dong.
Distinctive taiko drums in the intro.
This trial has gone on far too long. Shall we move ahead to the verdict, please, now?
By all means, and let us also return Abbot Inme's spirit to the Twilight Realm.
Before I go, let me say a word to my darling wife.
Objection!
Oh, hello.
More. Where?
Shadow says, this part of the game made my music-obsessed brain very extremely happy. Now, hold on just 1 minute. Your Majesty,
Yes?
the High Priest's statement is inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence.
It is? Still you writhe in defiance of your fate? The very sight reminds me of a tortured soul within
flames. Objection. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Jumps on plane, leaves Maya to die. You won't be saying that once I show you the evidence. Now, all I have to do is pick the right one. This piece of evidence is inconsistent with that statement about the taiko drum intro. It's gotta be this.
Take that!
This is what's inconsistent with this statement. My client's Plume Punisher strap.
What does that have to do with anything?
But Phoenix, you can't just screw you guys, him. It plays the Plume Punisher theme song. And here it is. The theme to the Plume Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm. God, it's so bootleg. Do you see what I mean? The music the victim heard in his final moments might not have been the Plume Punisher theme song.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What was it if not the Plume Punisher theme?
In his final moments, Acolyte Zealot heard the Steel Samurai theme. There are no taiko drums in the intro of the Plume Punisher theme. So what Acolyte Zealot actually heard in his final moments was the theme of the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Tokyo.
Peace, 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 I say! Mr. Wright, what is this Steel Samurai of which you speak?
The Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo is an action hero show from America. The Plume Punisher theme is a total rip. It's very similar to it. If you didn't know about the Steel Samurai, you could easily mistake the two.
But the fact that Acolyte Zealot heard music from an American action hero show is irrefutable evidence that the accused was in the secret hideout.
Actually, no. You have it backwards.
Backwards?
That's right. Miss Faye met an avid Plume Punisher fan here in Kurain. And as a token of their friendship, she traded a certain Steel Samurai item she had for the Plume Punisher strap.
And this avid Plume Punisher fan was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot?
Yes. And that avid fan is none other than the High Priest's wife, Believe in Me!
Do you have evidence to back up this claim, Mr. Wright? For as forgiving as the Holy Mother is, I doubt she would tolerate yet another dose of your baseless slander. I suggest you prepare yourself to face Her Holiness's wrath.
Oh dear. One shot! Oh, I'm prepared to turn this entire case upside down, that is. This is my last chance. Better take a deep breath and review the evidence.
Very well then, please present your evidence, if you would, defense.
The evidence that proves Miss Inme was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot is this. Now, what Steel Samurai item in particular did get traded and whatnot. Oh, hello there!
Take that!
It's right here in this family photo! Proof that Miss Inme and Miss Faye traded items featuring their favorite characters.
A family photo? And what exactly would we be looking at here?
The proof that they exchanged items featuring their favorite characters is right here. Would you look at that? That's the Steel Samurai.
Take that!
Look at Miss Inme's left wrist. You can see the Steel Samurai's trademark top knot right here. Which clearly makes this a Steel Samurai watch.
Why, I never knew your wife had such hobbies about Abbott in me.
Yeah, he likes kids shows. Whatever. The family photo was taken right before Acolyte Zealot was murdered. By that point, my client had the Punisher strap, and Miss Inme had the Samurai watch. So what the victim heard in his final moments was none other than the sound of the watch Miss Inme was wearing.
I wish to amend my testimony. When I thought what taiko drums was something else, my wife never had such a watch. It's the truth. I tell you, you must believe me, your majesty.
Oh, hey, cool. You're doing it to him now.
Be not deceived by the defense's loyally
Wait a minute. Chicanery. I haven't seen that word in a while. Poor guy trying to defend his wife. Yeah. Now what? He's been pretty quiet up to this point. What does he have up his sleeve?
There's a big gaping hole in his flimsy claim.
A big gaping hole? I don't think so.
Oh no, I'm afraid I'm afraid it is there, all right? Just like the big gaping holes in your putrid brain.
My brain is neither putrid nor full of holes. I'm not a zombie after all.
Says the dead lawyer walking. He who has narrow vision focuses on what is before him, never seeing the big picture. Or as they say in your country, you cannot see the forest for the trees. For, if it is as you said, and Lady Inme, the rebel, slew Acolyte Zealot, the rebel hunting Lady Kira, then the rebel hunter would have been dead before the high priest was slain.
Oh, that means the high priest could not have been slain by the rebel hunting Lady Kira.
I was wondering that. I'm like, the order of events seems a little screwed. How could I have missed that?
So tell me, who are you going to say killed the high priest now?
No! Mint says it was me, damn it!
Do you finally understand the sheer size of the holes that riddle your putrid brain?
I'm in hot water now. I don't have any other suspects in the high priest's murder.
You mindless zombie. You should have begun your journey into the Twilight Realm long ago. Now let it go and move on.
No, I will never give up. Oh, and funny stuff in the chat. It's me, Austin! I just need to think things through and figure out who really killed the high priest. Brain blast! If Acolyte Zealot had been Lady Kira, he couldn't have killed the high priest. So the question is, who did? Maybe I can get to the bottom of this by reviewing the events of the case in order. What events could tell me something about the crime scene before the murder? Let's talk about the Warbod dagger. No! The Warbod dagger? No, that was found later impaled in Zealot's body. It doesn't tell me anything about the crime scene before the murder. I better think of something else. All right, screw it. I messed that up. All right, so it's clearly Maya's testimony. Yes, of course. Oh, right, Maya said that the spring had been stained red before the rite even begun. The spring was already red before the High Priest's murder because of... I'm gonna say Zealot's blood, but... Yeah, okay. That's right, Zealot had been killed in the rebel hideout the day before the rite, and his blood had flowed into the spring. Wait a second. The High Priest knew that Zealot had been killed in the hideout, so why didn't he report it to the authorities? If Maya had been the killer, he could have easily had her arrested on the spot. Why didn't the High Priest inform the authorities right then? To keep the hideout hidden. If he reported Zealot's murder, the authorities would find out about the hideout. That's what he was worried about. But by going through with the rite, the High Priest risked having Maya see the spring running red with blood. Why did he have to go through with the rite? Did he want to... set up the scene? He wanted to set up the crime scene to conceal the hideout. But how is he planning on concealing the source of the blood in the spring? He didn't use Maya's blood. I don't believe he would have emptied the spring. I guess he must have used his own blood. He sacrificed himself! He concealed the source of the blood with his own! That was how he kept the rebel hideout a secret! It's all starting to fall into place. I know who killed the High Priest. It was... You son of a bitch! I can't believe it! The High Priest took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret! Look at that scowl. The High Priest wasn't murdered by anyone! He took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret!
What?
What?
What's this?
Fess up, asshole.
The High Priest committed suicide? I have never heard anything more absurd.
The lawyer has placed a stain on the good priest's death with his putrid brain. Its putrid, gaping holes are as large as the hole in his logic.
What hole?
You still fail to understand. You truly cannot see the forest for the trees. You claim the High Priest took his own life. But have you considered who brought the dagger to the Plaza of Devotion? After the High Priest was killed, the dagger was thrust into Acolyte Zealot's dead body. Only the accused Maya Fey could have done that.
It is as Prosecutor Sadmarhi says. Your claim is rather porous in its logic, and your evidence is too weak. You cannot prove that the High Priest took his own life to conceal the rebel hideout.
Right. The dagger was impaled in Zealot's body, but his body had been placed at the plaza the previous day.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
Zealot's body was already in the plaza the day before the rite. But what if the dagger was also already in him at that time? The dagger was never at the inner sanctum. It was moved by Terrust's soul. So, where are we going with this? I'm trying to think about where we're going with this. You can't prove me wrong after a brain blast. So, must have died by a different weapon. Of course, that's it! What is it? There was no need to move the dagger. It had already been stabbed into Acolyte Zealot's body the day before the rite.
What? So that means... What does it mean?
It means the dagger wasn't the weapon that took the High Priest's life.
But no weapon was ever found at the inner sanctum. If you will not listen to reason, then I insist you prove your assertion. Show us what you believe the real murder weapon to be.
The real weapon? I've got nothing, but I know there had to have been a weapon there. Again, save! Save like the wind! Maybe if I think back on the trial thus far, I'll spot a clue I need.
Well, will the defense care to tell us what the real murder weapon is?
This is what really killed the High Priest. You know, I have to think it might have been the statue. Like, this could have been a double kill, or, like, of a... You know, perhaps the statue is, like... It's killing everybody, under the sun at this point. That is my initial thought. Sharp protruding feathers took Pare Zealot's life. It's also a revolving door. Let's try. What really killed him has been at the inner sanctum all this time. And its lethality has already been demonstrated by the late Acolyte Zealot. That's right. It was the Warbod statue! And he's down.
You believe that that statue claimed both victims' lives?
Would you care to chime in, Abbott and me?
No, he lies. Pay him no heed. Why, it's...
Oh, hi!
Lady in me.
Darling, don't you think this has gone on long enough?
Oh, kiss and make up. Actually, don't kiss. That's Maya. Get away from here.
Believe no! Your Majesty, my wife knows nothing. Please, Abbot in me, let your wife speak. Now, Lady in me, please continue if you would.
It's that time again.
And what time would that be?
Hammer time, clearly. 2:30 in the afternoon, the time my husband conducts his daily prayers. And the time Pare was slain.
Tree Fitty. Oh my god!
That sound! It's...
The Steel Samurai Alarm!
I too like to pray at the same time as my dear husband, so I set an alarm to remind me each day. But I had no idea it would come to this.
The judge looks just confuzzled as all hell.
No, stop. She knows not what she speaks.
Your Majesty, I am the one who slew Acolyte Zealot.
Oh.
Oh boy. Everyone is sad.
Abbot in me! Bailiff, summon a physician at once.
Is Maya back? I feel like they might be.
The physician is now attending to the High Priest, so there's no need to fear. Now, let us continue.
And what about the half of him called Maya that's still among the living? Miss Inme, will you tell us everything you know?
The truth is, I am a rebel just like my husband. The tragedy unfolded before the rite, during the Feast of Blessing. I had gone to the rebel hideout to prepare it for Dad's escape.
And that's when Acolyte Zealot suddenly appeared?
Yes. Pare was shocked when he saw me there.
Acolyte Zealot did not know you were a rebel?
I do not believe he did. I believe he was there simply to investigate the hideout.
And then he suddenly came face to face with Miss Inme. So the true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kira was Pare Zealot.
Yes. He was a member of the secret police serving directly under the Minister of Justice.
The secret police!
And this is what he said to me. I can kill rebels with impunity. The Justice Minister has my back. He was using his position within the secret police to deal us rebels a heavy blow.
Under J. Jonah Jameson. Jesus.
But murder sanctioned by the crowd is still murder.
Sure. Even without the DC here, Dirk and his insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered.
What's that supposed to mean?
Let's just say, I got a little trick up my sleeve. So I'd watch it if I were you. Cause you got a defiant attitude. Like one of them dragon dupes.
The tripped up Minister Inga's sleeve was Lady Kira.
No, this can't be. My father would never.
This must be a bolt out of the blue for Rafa. This explains why Acolyte Zalat abandoned his real name.
Yes. He even went as far as covering up the tattoo that all Kyrianist clergy members receive. Lady Kira was a member of the secret police. That explains why no order was given to investigate her attacks.
I guess I'm not alone in hearing this for the first time.
But, this cannot be!
Is this true? The Justice Minister is sanctioning state-sponsored murder?
Peace! Now, Lady and me, please continue.
I feel like someone is going to assassinate her any moment.
Perret suddenly lunged at me. That's when I pushed the stone slab towards him with all my might. But I never meant for what happened next to occur.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Allow me to take it from here. Abbott and me, are you sure you're all right now? I'm sorry you had to see that. But you need not worry about me. I'm already dead.
That's not who I'm really worried about. Please, we need to know what was so important that you would take your own life.
After I learned that my wife had accidentally slain Zalat, I chilled his body with snow to make it seem as if he died more recently than he did. Then I later moved it to the Plaza of Devotion and inserted the dagger into his wound. The plaza was empty at that time, for it was before prayer time had started. Finally, I placed his body in the prayer pose, knowing that no one would notice anything was wrong until the rite had concluded. It is perfectly plausible that no one would disturb him if he seemed to be praying. We do treasure our prayer time, after all.
So you admit to you tried to pin the crime on Maya Fey?
Yes. This was all my doing. I never told my wife of the plan, for surely she would have tried to stop me.
And look how disappointed she is now. Oh boy. Shadow. Find a nice bin, is all I can say. Funny Tough says, this is around the part of the game you actually cried when you first played. This is the freaking saddest thing in the world. How did you get Miss Faye's fingerprints on the dagger?
I had to hold it while we were rehearsing the rite the day before. And right before the rite, I drugged her with a sleeping agent. Then I put Lady Kira's robes over the Warbot statue.
That means Maya was probably already groggy by the time the rite started.
Finally, I ended my own life, to ensure that the crime would appear to have been by Acolyte Faye's own hand. But when your body was discovered, Lady Kira's robes were on the ground. How did they end up there if they were on the statue? After I impaled myself on one of the statue's dagger-like feathers, I used the last ounce of my strength to hurl my body backwards. As I did, I grabbed onto the robes, taking them with me, as I fell back onto the ground. How terrible! What possessed you to do such a thing?
You needn't have committed the suicide simply to frame the accused.
Prosecutor Satmati, as one well-versed in our kingdom's legal system, I would expect you, of all people, to understand.
Understand what?
This kingdom's legal system. Miss Inmi's crime. Your suicide. It can't be... That would be sadder than sad.
Why, I believe the defense knows of what the High Priest speaks.
Yes, I finally understand. This explains why the High Priest took his own life. I'm a little bit lost, but I'm going to go ahead and save just in case. So, it's probably something within these passages. Oh, shoot!
And how, pray tell, does that explain why he took his...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. The reason's right here.
There's nothing to see, for that bears no relation to the question at hand.
Oh, did I get it wrong? Why would the High Priest commit suicide? If it was for his wife's sake, then maybe. Now I finally understand why the High Priest took his own life. This explains why did it. Sorry, I meant to press an entirely different button there. Immersion ruined! Sorry. Let me think here. Don't know if the... Okay. Tome of Secret. A tome given only to one who will play the role of Lady Kira in the Purification Rite. Hold on a moment. Oh, maybe it's this. Dirk's Law Book. Branding with it, Defiant Dragons. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Uh-oh! The Defense Culpability Act. Circumstantial evidence supports Miss Inmi's killing of Acolyte Zalat in self-defense. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's why the High Priest wanted to pin the crime on Maya Fey.
I fail to see what that has to do with his suicide.
In Kurain, the divination seance is the most important piece of trial evidence. The High Priest wanted to frame Miss Fey as a serial killer. It was a clever plan in which he made sure he'd see Lady Kira in his final moments.
The lawyer speaks true. That is why I placed Lady Kira's robes upon the Warbot statue. I made it seem that Acolyte Fey was the rebel hunting Lady Kira.
What? Are you saying you used my divination seance to produce false evidence?
Forgive me, your benevolence. But it was the only way to help my lovely wife.
Funny Stuff says, although the good news is this is probably the saddest part of the game, the next two cases, especially the next one, are a bit upbeat. Sweet! If you had approached me first, I could have proved that the murder was in self-defense.
Perhaps. But I had little faith in lawyers, despite being a rebel.
How utterly foolish to cast away one's life for such a reason. There must have been other ways to cover up the crime.
Yet had I done so, my wife would rush to my defense, and when the case went to trial, she would suffer the same fate as I under the Defense Culpability Act. I could not have lived with myself had she been convicted because of that fiendish man.
This cannot be. All I have done under the law of our kingdom, it has all been...
Poor Rafa. She's really taking this hard. But I can't say I'm surprised.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, it's time to show the might of your legal prowess. You mustn't allow another innocent soul to be charged under that despicable law.
Of course. I'll do whatever I can.
What I have done to you and Acolyte Fey is unforgivable. I can only offer my most humble of apologies. Your Majesty... Yes? I ask that you please look after my wife. You have my word. Your benevolence. It is time that I return to the Twilight Realm. The Magatama are parting, if you please.
Maybe cover up beforehand. All right. Very well. Your benevolence, please allow me the honor. Yes, send him back to hell, please. Yes, it would be more fitting for you to send him on his way. Send me. Darling, I'm so glad I was able to see you one last time. Thank you for everything. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry to leave you like this, my love.
But now you can watch over me from the world beyond.
Yes, always and forever.
And with every breath I take, my darling, I'll be thinking of you.
Oh, this sucks a big old fat one. What is this salty discharge for coming from my eyes? So, is Maya gonna be alright after this? I feel like, I don't want anybody to start, like, grinding an axe about her.
Farewell, my darling trust.
Oh, you seem in high spirits. The High Priest has returned to the Twilight Realm. Maya! I feel great. I guess that means he didn't leave any regrets behind. And also, he didn't contort you to hell. No! But what about the trial, Nick? It's over. It was a sad reality born of love, and a great tragedy born of the Defense Culpability Act.
Well, I see no need to continue this trial. Does the prosecution have anything to say?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, I owe a debt to you, one that I will pay back in court someday.
Now, to deliver today's verdict and overturn that of yesterday's trial. With respect to all current and previous charges against them, I hereby declare the accused Maya Fey and her defense, Phoenix Wright, not guilty!
Oh, thank the good Lordy Lou above! Look at all the butterflies.
It's over!
Hugs, everyone. Yeah, we need a little bit of victory theme, please. May 12th, 4:20, nice, p.m. High Court of Kirain. Accused lobby. So, I was thinking, Nick, the legal system here is really stacked against the defense. God damn it, hey, I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do with the number being, put directly in my face? It's totally unfair. Duh. Yeah, it even forced the High Priest to make the ultimate sacrifice just to protect his wife. It's just so sad. Protect the status quo or join the revolution. If the real Lady Kira were here, I wonder which side she would take. You saved nice for 69. I'm sorry. 420, man. Did you want me to say blaze it? Your benevolence? What? I was, just wondering. Are you alright? Quiet, you! How could I possibly be alright? Yeah, She's not dealing well at all. Yeah, she's not doing well at all.
Who do you think you are? Suddenly appearing before me? Trampling my insights underfoot and plunging the Hall of Justice into utter chaos? You've even desecrated my mother and father's teachings, you soulless infidel!
Woof! That was a bit more extreme than usual. Professor Render says, I blame A Hat in Time for completely muddying Peck and Darlin. And this trial really didn't help.
What am I to do? I'd always believed that communing with the victim's mitama would lead me to the absolute truth. But each time you overturned my insights, it was revealed that they served to support false charges rather than the truth. I'm left now with that heavy truth in my heart.
I'm sorry, Rafa.
Perhaps I'm not worthy of hearing the voices of the mitama.
That's where you're... Okay. Give me a second. I'm actually going to save just because I feel like I need to present something pretty soon here. And I'd like to get that right.
What? Oh! Maya? How dare you?
Your role is to bring forth the voices of the mitama into our world. If you don't do it, who will?
You know nothing, Maya Vey!
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
It was spirit channeling, not a divination seance that brought the truth to light. How dare an outsider like you employ the Queen's secret art? But what can I do? My spiritual power does not even approach yours. Is it not a cruel joke? The royal priestess bested by a lowly outsider.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Why not? Is it worth at least a laugh or two?
You shouldn't talk like that.
Huh? Listen, your benevolence. You were just fulfilling your duty, weren't you? And you're the only one capable of performing the divination seance, right? The station of royal priestess is not something to abandon lightly. The station of royal priestess? The people of your kingdom believe in you, but if you really mean all that you just said, then what are they supposed to believe in? You know not of what you speak.
Actually, I kind of do. After all, I'm only here training so I can become the master of my village back home.
A village master, you say? I did not know. It seems I owe you an apology. For even today, I called you a neophyte practitioner.
It's all right, your benevolence.
Thank you for finally acknowledging me.
A future queen and a future village master. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, considering they may have a common ancestor. Maya's right, your benevolence.
Barbted?
Could you please call me Phoenix for once? Anyway, your insights were a crucial piece of evidence in this last trial. It doesn't matter if they weren't always 100% accurate. You should be proud of what you did. You've played an important role in assuming that justice was served. Assuring, rather. And besides, your insights aren't the problem here. It's your kingdom's legal system. Without lawyers, your insights have come to be accepted as the sole truth. And the Defense Culpability Act, which gave rise to that, is the root of it all.
But that is the dangerous thinking of a rebel!
Your benevolence, as Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. So can you stop being so emo and edgy all the time? You know, be a little kind. Listen!
I wonder if I'm even up to the task.
Knowing you, your benevolence, you're more than capable. I've never heard Maya talk like this before. She's really come a long way. What the fuck? Why? What was that?
It came from the hallway. Smoke, we better go check it out. Hurry!
Miss Enemy!
Mr. Wright, Acolyte Faye, I'm so sorry for what transpired. You were almost sentenced to death because of me.
Oh, good. Now you're not in grieving. Grieving, thank you. Yeah?
I will make amends by picking up where my husband left off. I will see the revolution through, so nothing like this can ever happen again. For that is the depth of my love for my dearly departed husband.
Lady Inmu, you gotta hurry. That voice, is that Mr. Arbol?
I must tell my people. They must learn that the peace was...
the peace was we enjoy rather, is a false one.
One built on the backs of innocents charged with false crimes under the odious DC Act. We have it in our power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly.
Hey there, PW. I wish we had more time to talk, but... Dirk, everything's ready. It's go time.
Dirk? Okay, what the hell kind of voice did we give Dirk? He's a pirate, clearly, but... Wait! Was that the rebel leader, Dirk?
Sniper!
After him! Don't let them get away! Well, shit. The power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. It's the start of a legal revolution.
Starting's a good job, mate.
Hey, Nick. What the fuck just happened? Hate to bother you while you're lost in thought, but I just got this great idea. What is it? The Steel Samurai versus the Rebel Dirk. I bet it'd make for another awesome TV show! And if we threw in the Plume Punisher in there, everyone would go nuts over it! Something just exploded. I'll never get what she sees in those shows. But it's good to know that no matter what happens, Maya will always be Maya. He just ran into the rebel leader and he's not even phased. And that's the end. Wow, okay, we went a little long today, but there we go. We finished the entire chapter, and I'm glad I did, because I would not want to leave this on that ridiculous cliffhanger. Anyways, the new episode. Episode 4, Turnabout Storyteller. I'm crossing my fingers. We're heading back to the States. I want to see my my good boy Apollo. You know, and the whole gang. The whole Trucy. The Athena. Everybody there. So hopefully. Anyway, let's go ahead and save. Are we going to get a cutscene just as a little bit of a teaser for the next episode, though? Let's see. Yes, we are. Here we go. Turnabout Storyteller. This looks rather stately. What the...
3, 4,
What the heck?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Phantom.
It's 9,
11. Killed at 12 o'clock. LA, you haven't changed a bit. What? Shisho's dead? No! Do you think he did it? Oh no! If he did, then what do we do? Hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry, I have an idea. Killed in his noodles. Eldoon would be proud. Oh, wow, we're starting right here? Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, I guess we're going to be taking a look at that the next time that we do the stream here. Real quick, I'm going to save just so that I remember. There we go. Because I'm friggin' hungry. Also, we're going to be doing this with Athena. Nice. Okie dokie then, I think that will do it for the stream. Oh, read what you said back there. Dirk gets his voice in a cutscene. Don't worry. Okay, I hope so. I really hope I hear it first. Okay, let's head off. Again, thanks everybody for coming out to watch the stream. I appreciate that a lot. I'm going to be uploading this up to the YouTube at some point after the stream, so if you want to check a look at the VOD, there it is. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow, I'm definitely going to be playing Wandersong because I really want to see, like, we're getting real close to potentially the end of Wandersong. So, yeah, I want to see that. That seems like a really fun thing. Good night. You have to sleep. Sleep, Shadow. Sleep. And also, rest your stomachs. Yes, several of your stomachs. Anyways, what other things do I need to line up with? Now, again, I'm thinking that I want to do a Saturday stream with Minecraft as opposed to Phoenix Wright. So next Saturday, we're probably going to be doing Minecraft. And then we're going to come. That's another reason why I kind of wanted to finish off this one chapter tonight, because for God's sakes, I would have had to leave everybody in the dark with this chapter for 2 weeks. That would have been mean. So I'm kind of glad that things wrapped up pretty good here. But anyway, like I said, I'm freaking hungry and I need to make myself a sandwich or something or something to that degree. I really badly want to make a burger, but we don't have any, I don't have any ground beef in the house. Okay, I gotta take off here. Again, thank you for coming out. See you next time.